sport fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's get straight into the episode.
Skitter, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun.
Before we start, I say something to you that I say to everyone that comes on, but I would not be saying it if it wasn't true. You're sitting here because I find you interesting. That's because you are an interesting person. I want to learn more about you, how you think, and how you feel, and I love to have the opportunity to share this experience. So I really appreciate you coming over. Thank you for sitting down. And ladies and gentlemen listening, it is a very, very special, sentimental episode to me, and I was going to introduce her as my first female guest that isn't considered my family, but in reality, I would consider her my family, so I'm not going to say that anymore. She is a future Mrs. Win. She's Cash Money, and she is Kashish Madhani.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I was so close to not saying Madhani correctly. Oh, my God. Jesus. All right. Let me double check everything's on.
Okay.
All right. Sweet. My brother. Yeah. You know what? I got a good first story, actually. My brother's here. But he texted me a photo at I reckon it was 12:30 last night.
Yeah.
Of him in a Macca's uniform. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in a Macca's uniform? I'm like, did this guy have a second job or something he didn't tell me about? And he's like, nah, my friend just gave it to me. I'm going to see if I can go behind the counter and make myself a burger.
Did it work?
I don't know. I'll update next week.
We have to ask him.
Yeah, all right. We'll ask him after. There'll be an update next week for everyone listening. If it worked or not. Yeah.
That would be awesome if it did. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Cash, I'm so sorry. I just woke up. I'm so sorry.
That's all good. No problems.
I feel alive. I feel good.
That's
I feel good, but fuck, I feel like I should be a bit more responsible than that, you know? I guess.
The sleep revived you.
It did. It definitely did. Yeah. Oh my gosh. How did your morning go this morning?
Good. I was supposed to wake up and go to the gym at 8:15 in the morning, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Nice.
My alarm went off at 7. I'm like, So I set another one for 2 hours later.
Yeah, nice. Oh, I feel that. Oh my god, it was a good morning to sleep in, wasn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Saturdays are for sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Nice. Guys, I had a great weekend last weekend.
Yes.
Did you?
I had a fantastic weekend.
I reckon that was the most fucked up I've ever seen you before.
Oh, 100%. I honestly don't, after we left the karaoke room, don't remember anything.
Really? Don't remember anything?
I remember little bits. I remember going to the pokies with you. And then I remember getting kicked out of a few places.
Yeah.
And to them I was like, but it's my birthday. And this Asian dude looks at me and goes, I don't care. I was like, fine then. Don't need to be rude.
No one cares it's your birthday either, loser.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the good luck in the pokies. Oh my gosh.
Really?
Jesus.
See, I don't remember. I just remember pressing the button.
Yeah, I remember. All right, Cash, hit it. And you're like, and you're like, yeah, Doxy. I'm like, you don't even realise what you just did. Jesus Christ.
Even though I work in the pokies, half the time I have no idea what's happening. When I see the coins come up, I'm like, oh, okay,
Nice.
I think that's good.
You're like, this is the moment we all go, yeah. Yeah. Nah, it was great. What a good choice of karaoke was.
Oh, 100%. Something different. Something different.
Have you been before?
Ages ago, I used to go with my brother and his friends, but this is the first time I've been since 5 years.
Yeah.
Nah, it was fun.
Cool.
It was good.
It was cool.
At the beginning, it was like, I don't know. He's going to sing, but then once you start, getting a bit more comfortable, it's like, ah,
I guess once the liquid courage starts pouring, everyone's doing shots, all of a sudden everyone's the best singer in the world, hey?
100%.
Yeah, it was a bit hard. I was like, you know what? I'm not drinking, so I'm going to have to pretend I'm drinking. And then I just remembered what it was like to be confident. And you know what I mean? When I was drunk, I'm like, yeah, I got this.
Because everyone else was fucked up, so it doesn't really,
no one's even going to remember.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You fit in perfectly. It's fine.
I was saying to Ashley that night too, I always say it too, but I always pick a different artist. I'm always like, good thing I sound like Justin Timberlake, so I'm about to rip this thing apart. It's better, it doesn't matter who's playing on the radio. I'm like, I sound exactly like like Kid Leroy, don't you think?
No, you're a good singer, but good singer.
Don't.
Dude, I
Trust
remember
me.
towards the end of it, we were singing Mockingbird together, and everyone just left. I was like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was dope.
fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do not gas me up about singing because I have enough confidence. I do not need to believe I can sing. I already have a stupid idea that I can sing, and I know I can't.
Imagine if you were drinking.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
What have we hitting the Dell?
Yeah.
Nah, that's cool. I thought about it and I was like, it's a bold move picking karaoke for your birthday.
Yeah.
Bold move because either people are gonna have fun or people are going to like not have fun. There's never a middle ground.
Exactly.
You know, what if everyone was just like too nervous to sing? Or say everyone was about, oh no, everyone's getting a bit older now. Say everyone was like at the age of between like 17 and 19. Maybe everyone would have been like, oh, I'm too cool for singing, you know? But now everyone's like, fuck it, I'm a loser. Listen to me sing.
You know what? At the end of the day, no matter how old you are, you're still going to love your classics.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if we took your mum to karaoke, she would sing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, 100%.
100%. But on that night, honestly, because Alex, shout out Alex if you listen.
Shout out Alex.
He lives in Brisbane now, but he's been my best friend for like so long. And he was coming down especially for my birthday. So she just came for the Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I don't care if no one rocks up. I don't care if no one sings as long as Alex is there. It's like, wow. You know what I mean?
That's sweet.
So it was really, like, really, really good having him here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
He's going to come to a podcast soon, actually.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I want to get on the podcast. I'm like, you got to tell him that.
Yeah, because I asked him ages ago. I asked him in the first probably 6 episodes, I reckon. I
Yeah.
asked him. And then he's like, oh, I would, man. It's just not my thing, you know. Not really that buzzed on it. And I can see he's starting to change a bit. Like, I don't know.
100%.
He's telling me what he's doing for work and stuff. I'll find out more on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he's just a bit more like, fuck
He's
yeah, dude.
really, really fucking responsible now.
Yeah?
Like, we used to be just delinquents back then.
Delinquents,
Yeah.
great word.
But he, you know, he moved to Brisbane with his family. Now he's helping his dad out with the business. He's always telling me, look, I did the showroom today, or like he got some offer to go on the TV
What?
with like some caravan camping show.
Oh, what?
So you know, he's doing.
Oh, I
things.
seen
He's
him up
doing
on the
things.
big screen. Yeah,
100%.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait to have everyone. My last guest told me he was on TV too, and I'm like, all right, so Pat's been on TV now. You've got your little stories, you know, like even like Murad and
Oh yeah.
who else was on Cooper? You know,
Oh,
like-
true.
And now my mate Sam was on TV. Alex is gonna go on TV. I'm like, when's my turn?
I want to be on it for a good reason.
Yeah, I just want my internet. I just want my 2 minutes of fame.
100%.
Yeah, nah, it was a great weekend. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
I love seeing Nixie get so fucked up. Even though he pissed me off, Nixie, I know you're listening. Jesus Christ. Pissed me off in that room. Fuck me.
What did he
dead.
do?
He sung for like, because let me just fix this camera real
Yeah.
quick. But yeah, because I tried that challenge where I wasn't going to vape. And then like, I obviously failed. Nixie, yes, I
And
failed.
on the mic, he was all like, "You failed," and on the
Doxy's
mic, I was like,
failure. Doxy's a fail. I mean, but he did it for like 5 songs where he just did Doxy failed for the lyrics for 5 songs.
in my head, I was like, no, because I've been telling Jackson about it all week. I'm like, oh my god, he's so like into it, you know, he's doing all these things, like we can't even fucking stop smoking. Here he is, quitting vapes, quitting junk food, fucking doing all this good shit as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, props to that. But at the same time, no one like expects you to be perfect about it.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
That's okay.
I beat myself up a little bit about the vapes, but at the same time, I'm enjoying it so much that I'm just like, fuck it. Like the challenge is hard. It's fucking hard enough, I'll tell you.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm struggling.
I can imagine, dude. It's like, that's fucking crazy. So you go to the gym and you do 100 squats.
I wanted to do this pod about you. I did. I did. But I'll go over it quickly. So my challenge is, and for everyone who doesn't have me on Instagram, it's I have to go to the gym every day, and then I have to do a 30-minute run. Then I have to do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. I don't have to do them at the gym, but I can do them separated through the day if I want to. So I usually do about 50 and then 50 later, before gym, after gym. Sometimes, like yesterday, I did 75, so I only had to do 25 after the gym. Like, I'm really looking after myself.
That's
Future
good.
me always is very, very grateful when I do it, and
Yeah.
past me is always like, oh, damn it, I have to do it. And then I have to do a 10-minute yoga session, 10-minute meditation session. I have to do read 20 pages of a non-fiction book. I have to journal, so I have 5 journals that I journal in. I have to listen to a Joe Rogan podcast, or a random act of kindness, and I think that might be it. I have to drink 3 liters of water, and I think that might be it for everything I have to do. Things I can't do is junk food, deep fried food, cakes, lollies, candy, chips, chocolate, any kind of sugar, like soft drink.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found a little glitch in the Matrix the other day though. I was driving home and I'm like, oh, there's nothing to eat. I'm so hungry. It was a 3-hour drive. I'm like, there's nothing I can eat. And I went past the server. I was like, oh, I haven't got pie written down on my thing.
I'm gonna have a
Fuck
pie.
yeah, I'm gonna have a pie. I was like, oh my god. And then I ate a pie and I was like, I can't do this again. I'm gonna have to add pie. Like, this is cheating.
My list of things not to do.
Yeah, this is cheating. No pastry. I'm gonna have to add that to it.
Yeah. But do you feel very accomplished at the end of the day?
Every day.
Yeah.
I feel good. But it's hard. It's very hard because, like, by the time I finish work and I'll go to sleep pretty much straight away. If not, I'll do like something minor, like some push-ups, sit-up squats, or something just to help my day get started. And then my lunch break at work is consisted of reading. So then as soon as I wake up, I have to do my yoga, do my stretch, do my meditation, straight to the gym, straight. The only free time I'm getting is like when I'm eating my dinner, I'll chuck on a Netflix episode.
Yeah.
And I'll get like, 45 minutes. I'm like, yes, and I'll eat it.
It's the best.
And then I'll have like 15 minutes left and I'm looking at it going, fuck it, I'll watch it. And I'll watch it. And then as soon as it's done, I'm like, fuck. And then I just get up and I run back around. And I'm like, oh, by the time I finish, it's just time for work, or even I'm late to work. But yeah, it's good. It's a good challenge. But it's too hard without nicotine.
Oh,
Need my nicotine.
It's one of the most like addictive things ever.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
It's like in the morning sometimes I'm like looking for my vape.
Yeah, that was
And then I
me.
get mad at myself. I'm like, no, you cannot have a puff of your vape right now. No chance. You know?
Yeah.
Then I go hide it.
Yeah.
And I wait till I've like, had a shower, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, and then.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, it's good. I tell myself no vape until I've already had liquid. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll either have to make a coffee or, go have a shower first, whatever I have to do. And then it's not until I sit down and I'm comfortable and I'm ready and I have a sip. And I'm like, all right.
Okay, now I can have my vape.
Yeah. Or if I'm driving in the morning to work, I won't have a vape until I've gotten to a certain point.
Yeah.
And I always make it a little bit further.
Yeah.
So it might be that
it's
tree.
little steps and then you'll get there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Eventually.
But today is the day where I puff this bad boy all day.
Why not?
Yeah. All right. Where do I want to start, Kash? Where do I want to start? I noticed that you put up a pretty cool post on Instagram the other day. It looked like you were overseas in a lot of those photos. When was that?
It was when I went to India in January, but I never ended up posting the photos. And the other day, what motivated me to do this was I was looking at one of like my old friends' stories or something, and she was wishing one of my other old friends happy birthday. But we had like a graduation photo together, and she cropped me out of it.
What?
And I was like, oh, we have beef,
my
right? We have beef.
God.
But I was like, what the
Fuck that beef.
Yeah, 100%. So then I looked at my Instagram feed and I'm like, oh my God, why do I still have photos of these people on my fucking feed? So I deleted all of them and I was like,
Good
well, I gotta
riddance.
post something now. So
Yeah.
I posted those photos. But yeah, I went to India with my family. So I come from Hyderabad, which is not really good with geography, but it's like somewhere in the south.
Okay.
So we went there for a little bit with my grandparents, and this is so wholesome because my grandparents have never seen the Taj Mahal,
What?
but they've lived in India their whole lives.
No way.
Because they weren't really like well off or anything, but I don't know why they just never ended up seeing it.
Yeah.
So my mum was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll go on like a tour. So we went to the tour of like the Golden Triangle. So that would include Delhi, fucking shithole, like.
Is it?
Gross. Yeah, you walk.
Isn't Delhi a
you
capital?
walk- it is.
Yeah.
But you walk out of the airport and you can't breathe.
Really?
There's literally like fog everywhere, but it's not fog, it's like smoke.
No.
Yeah.
I have
so
to see
everyone's
that.
roaming around with fucking like face masks on because you dead set can't breathe.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so cold there. Like, you'd think you're going there in December. It's fucking freezing.
Really?
Yeah.
I never imagined it would be cold in
Me
here.
neither, so I didn't pack anything to be like, I'm going to be cold. So I'm just wearing the same jacket every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my mom's like, I'm
Wow.
not going to get good photos. I'm like, well, would you rather be freezing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
Yeah.
went there. We went to Agra to see the Taj Mahal, which was awesome.
Mhm. And how far is this from Delhi?
It's like, give or take, it's like 5 hours of a drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then say where are you from? How do you say it again?
I'm in Hyderabad.
Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
It was a
The airport?
2-hour flight from Delhi.
Okay.
So we flew to Delhi, got off at Delhi, then we had like a we had our own tour guide booked, so he had like a little minivan and he just drove us around. Everywhere. It was mad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we went to Delhi for a day, we saw like the main monuments and stuff. And then we went to Taj Mahal, which is in Agra. And we stayed in Agra, but then at that point, because so obviously I'm medicated, right? And I obviously couldn't take anything there, but I had my vapes, right? I was shitting it the whole time because I'm at the airport. They're gonna take it, but they didn't.
Ah,
right?
good.
So they didn't
I was
take
stressing
it.
for you.
Oh, but wait, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Okay.
So we like traveled in the minivan to the 3 cities. So we went to Agra, then we went to Jaipur, which is like, it's really known for like its fabrics, colors, stones, pearls and stuff. And I think it's called the Red City because but the history is that when the British people came to India, everyone was actually really excited originally. So they painted the city red in honor of one of the kings or something. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's still like
That's cool.
it's mad.
Wow.
So much history there.
I want to look up Red City right now.
Yeah,
I want to see what that
I
looks
hope it's
like.
Jaipur or not Udaipur, but they sound really similar. So the third city we went to was Udaipur, which was cool, but the whole time, dude, there was just vegetarian food.
Wow.
There
Just
was, like,
vegetarian.
just like if you want to find non-vegetarian, you're probably gonna get food poisoning
Oh,
because
wow.
they don't know how to cook it. There's no beef there.
Oh, yeah.
Beef's are sacred, like
Yeah.
cow is sacred. So
Is that Sikh? Is that what it is?
Hindu.
Yeah, okay.
and that area I went to is predominantly Hindu.
Yeah.
So they don't sell like a lot of non-veg food. I'm like to my mom, for fuck's sake, I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
When are we gonna eat real food?
Yeah.
No, but it
Wow.
was cool. It was cool. And then we went to Udaipur and we just did a heaps of shopping there. And then
And when you say shopping, what kind of shopping is it? Like, do they have like normal branded shopping or is it very traditional shopping?
very traditional shopping.
Yeah.
It's like, as I said, like those areas are really known for like fabrics. So like my mom and my nani, which is my grandma, they love like their saris and their like suits and traditional stuff. So
Yeah.
they'll get material, then they'll go back to their tailor in wherever they live, and they'll go get it stitched up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool business. I
Yeah,
didn't even
it's
think
it's
about that.
massive there. It's massive.
Yeah.
Everyone just buys material because it's cheaper and
Yeah.
it's like nicer. You can pick whatever you want. You can buy like the lace pattern or whatever, and you just tell the tailor that this is how I want it to look.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I
So
never-
like,
yeah,
it's
that's a
like your
good
own
idea.
your own fashion designer.
Yeah.
You know, it's awesome.
That is cool.
100%.
Yeah, I do like the traditional clothing and all that stuff. It's crazy you have to buy a new one for like most events
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
Wow.
But look, that's just Indians.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like we're comfortable wearing whatever a couple of times. But they're like, if I can get another one, I'm gonna get a new one.
yeah.
Oh, dude, my nanny
Well,
did so much shopping.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too, but I get it. Like if I like notice I've worn an outfit before for like an event, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
buy
I get
another
you.
one. Yeah,
Except there, they have like an event every day. So
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
funny because my grandma, she's like, I'd say she's probably like 60, 65. Funny thing is, she doesn't know her birthday.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
She doesn't know her birthday.
No, she doesn't know
Wow.
what year. Like she knows like a vicinity of the year she was born in, but
She doesn't know the year.
no, she doesn't know the year and doesn't know the date. So we made up her birthday.
No,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I know. Because she went to get her passport, right? Because she was coming here. And they're like, what's your birthday? She's like, I don't know.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yep.
So is that like a common thing over there that people just like don't have recollect? Like is it just not recorded down? Is it not important?
I think it depends on the family. So for example, my grandma's family, they have like something crazy like 13 siblings.
Wow. That is
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's my goal.
But at the same time, it's kind of weird because like the eldest sibling, was having a kid at the same time that her mom was having a kid.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how much of like an age gap it is. So I guess they were just like, let's push these babies out. We don't care what their birth date is, doesn't matter. You know?
Wow.
So yeah. But then in the last city, Udaipur, fucking middle of nowhere, right? You never expect. Went to the airport, they took all my vapes.
Oh, no.
And for some reason, I had 4, right?
Yeah.
And I brought all of them with me for some stupid fucking reason.
Oh.
And they all got confiscated. And my dad knew, like, how, because he used to have a nicotine addiction. So he's like, oh my God, she's going to be fucked for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm
Yeah.
dying here. And I'm going through my weed withdrawals and I'm going through this. It was just the worst.
Oh.
So then he drove on his, like, they have these little bikes. It's not like a bike. It's called a scooter. It's like a, I don't know what they call it here, but it's got like a platform you can keep your feet on it.
Oh, it's kind of like a moped kind.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. So he took my grandpa's moped
Yeah.
and drove 45 kilometers
Oh,
to find a vape on
oh, what a nice guy.
because they don't sell them anywhere. They're like fully banned. I thought that they'd have loopholes and stuff, but not.
Nah.
They don't sell them anywhere,
Oh,
literally.
so he didn't come back with a vape.
He came back with one, but he had to drive 45
Oh,
kilometers. And in
wow.
India, that's like, bro, his nose was all covered with fucking dust. That's how gross it is. Because it's like, you got to cover everything before you drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I am kind of curious to go there one day. I've been like back and forward a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I hear stories of it's like it's dirty and I'm like some places and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to know if it's
But
dirty.
it's awesome.
But then I hear it's awesome, so.
It's like the culture. It's like, look, as long as you eat at nice places, don't eat street food. Like, just don't take the chance. Even I couldn't. Like, I had a sip of water or something because my auntie gave me some, and it's like rude to say no.
Yeah.
And I accidentally had some, and I got sick.
Oh,
I got
no.
like full food poisoning for like the next couple of days, and it was the worst. Dude. On the way back, I was sick.
Yeah.
On the flight and shit.
Oh, how far was the flight?
Long.
How long?
It was like, I think it was like 7 hours from India to Singapore.
Yeah.
But then we stopped there because the plan was that me, my brother, my mom, and my dad were all going to go see Singapore for a day. So stopover was for like 20 hours, right? But what happened was my mom decided to stay there longer. And my brother, at the airport from Sydney, he got stopped because he was part of the scam like a couple years ago. And he didn't realize that his passport had been blocked.
Oh.
So it was blocked. And this was like right before Christmas holidays. So there was like no chance of getting out the passport. So he couldn't come with us.
Oh, that's right.
It was so devastating.
I remember the scams. I remember the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so devastating because I was like, at least I have my brother, like he's going through the same shit as me.
Yeah.
But not, he wasn't there either. So
Was it easy to like get over the withdrawals because you were like so overwhelmed by like new things to do, or was it just as shit as going through it here?
Oh
Or
no, it was
worse?
definitely better there. But the first couple of days, because like it starts from as soon as you're on the flight. And I'm very claustrophobic. So the whole time I'm like, oh my God, get me off this fucking flight. Get me off here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would try to sleep as much as possible.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know you could like adjust the speed of the aircon. So I had it on full and it was so cold. And then at the end, I'm like to my mom, can you turn this off? And she's like, yeah, you just have to do this. And I'm like, no way. No way. But it's like the agitation when you're on the flight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like flights to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you're so agitated. But once you get there and you start seeing stuff, it's awesome. It's like, I can, this is fine. You get a little bit shit of sleep, you get some nightmares, it's fine.
Yeah.
Because like the next day you're going to go do like exciting stuff.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? So it's
Oh, I
cool.
get ya. When I'm
Yeah.
on a plane, I'm like secretly got me vape. Like I'm like, and
People
then I see
do.
the smoke. I'm like,
That wasn't me. What's
What
going
is
on?
going-
Is your AC broken?
what is this? Yeah.
They tell you like 50 billion times, but they're like, no vaping on the plane.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm like, la 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 la. La la la. Oh, I'm glad I can vape.
really sensitive smoke alarms in the bathroom as well.
Yeah.
So you have
I've done it in there too heaps of times.
And you
Yeah.
got away with
Yeah.
it. All right, that's good. Good on you. You're smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've haven't had a plane in a while. The last time I went on a plane was to Bali, and I was definitely vaping.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then I didn't have a vape there for a while, so I was pumping ciggies like no tomorrow. And then I found this cheap little vape store, bought a vape. It was just ass. I was back to smoking cigarettes again. And then I got back to Sydney after like 2 weeks of popping ciggies, and I had one at the airport, and I was like, yeah, I've got to stop this. can't be doing this again. Yeah. But it was good. So, as we said, nicotine, it is a hard thing, you know.
Oh,
It's insane.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just, like, I'd say nicotine and gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling is pretty...
Yeah, gambling's a hard one. I'm learning how to tame the beast. You just have to set limits with gambling. It's one of those things that you can actually set limits to if you're able to. Some people can't. Nicotine is one of those things where it's like it's hard to set limits to because it's something that your brain's depending on chemically. You know, it's hard. It's not like you can just be like, oh, I'll only vape when I have cash on me.
Yeah, and it's not like you're gonna go to work and be playing the pokies. Like you can't.
Yeah.
But at work you can vape. And it's, you know, like you can just all the time. So
I had a builder say to me one time, he's like, it was about 2:00 in the morning, came up to me, he's like, dude, someone just sent an email, one of these Coles employees, to the head boss because someone's vaping. They caught you vaping. You can't be vaping in the store, mate. It's fucking, we just got all this trouble happen. I'm like, look, I hear what you're saying, dude, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, I don't care. Like,
fuck my dick.
it's not gonna change. Like, I could lie to you and be like, I'm sorry, I won't do it, but I'm gonna be lying to you. So what do you want me to do?
He was fine with it.
He's like, dude, you can't. I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Not vape? Like, go crazy.
Oh my
Why don't I just kill myself? You know what I mean? Would that make you happy?
So you want me to come to work?
Yeah.
And do my job?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd like to go to India one day. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'm gonna take Jackson one day. But one thing I've told him already, it's like, if you're any color that's not brown,
That was
and
going to
you
be
go
my
to
question.
India,
I was actually meant to just ask you that.
dude, they fucking stare at you the whole time. Somebody will be looking at you.
Yeah, Gorda. Freaking Gorda.
Gorda,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's celebrities there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
like
it's
you
not
get-
like condescending.
No,
look?
it's not. It might feel condescending to the people that are being stared at, because I can get like a little bit weird, but you're literally like a celebrity. Like they want to treat you well. They want to,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
They want you to experience what's going on. They want you to go back to your country and talk good shit about India.
Oh, okay.
Because they
Okay.
want people to come there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as a tourist, you'll get taken advantage, like you get ripped off.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, even I, like, as soon as I would go, like, to negotiations and stuff, I remember we were buying these bed sheets or something, and we're all sitting there. So you sit, like, on little stools in, like, a corner shop, basically, and they'll spread out all of the fabrics for you. You can see everything, right? And I started talking, and they're like, nah, she's not from here. I was like, no, I'm from here. I was born in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like, just stop talking. They know you're not from here, and they won't give us a discount if you keep talking. So I was like, okay, I'll shut up.
Wow. So can you speak like the actual?
Yeah,
is
I
it
can speak Hindi.
Hindi. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
even know that.
my accent comes through a little bit. Like I don't sound traditional.
Are you actually born in Hyderabad?
Yeah, I was actually born
I didn't
there.
know that. When did
Yeah.
you come to Australia?
I moved here when I was like 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you already know how to speak English or not when you were 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they teach you how to do like speak English there.
Yeah.
And I was always really good with English.
Yeah.
Like when we came here, my brother was put into ESL, but they didn't see a need to put me into ESL.
Yeah.
So
I think that's so fascinating. Just the idea that some of the people I know weren't born in this country and
Yeah.
they had to come from another country. Like, do you have any memory of what it was like at all? Like coming over?
little bit. Because the thing is that my parents, they had a couple of businesses in India that they shut down, and they're like, all right, we're not going to live here because it's not you can't really progress. Like at that time. Now you can do a lot of stuff now, but at that time they were like, we want our kids to have better education, etc., etc. So they actually came here first, and me and my brother were in India with my grandparents for a year,
Wow.
and then we came here.
Wow.
So those memories, I guess it's because like if you're 5 years old and you're not seeing your parents and stuff, you definitely remember some of the stuff because
Yeah.
it's like fuck, it's not that great, you know what I mean? Like, but props to them, because they, you know, built everything, and if they didn't do that, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. So what did they just come to, like, scout the area, maybe like get a job or something?
Yeah, and save some money. And the thing is, at that time, that they got a visa and we didn't. So you had to have some sort of thing that, I don't know the exact requirements, but like my mom had to study for a little while. Then my dad was on a he had to like work. He had to, it's a working visa, so he had to have a full-time job. And then they could sponsor us to come here.
Wow.
Yeah. So it couldn't have been done if they didn't do that. So that's awesome.
That's cool. How the word sponsor, like that's the actual terminology.
Yeah. It's still like nowadays when immigrants come here, they'll work at like the company I work for with the pub, it's ALH Group, and they sponsor chefs and stuff. So they'll be immigrants, they'll come here, they'll learn the skill, they'll work for you for a couple of years, and then you send a letter to the immigration board or whatever, and they'll accept you, saying that, okay, this person's an asset to Australia, we need them here, we shouldn't send them back, they should be allowed to live here. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So I have some memories of it, but then like when I went back, all my extended family and stuff, they're like, oh, I remember when you were little, and I'm like, I don't remember who you are. Like my mom's told me about you, but I have no idea. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the feeling of, because that's what I'm most curious about, like the feeling of going to another country for the first time and kind of learning it all over, you know, especially as a kid. Like, was it, I can imagine being very, and your brother's a bit older. How old, if you were 5, he would have been, what, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can imagine even at 7 as well, like I can imagine the fear would have been huge, like the nerves would have been huge too.
100%.
But was there excitement as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that with that, 100%, a lot of kids get like, either get bullied, or they feel like they don't fit in, or they don't belong. The thing is that me and my brother were absolute best friends.
Yeah. Cool.
So like at least we had each other to be like, and he was only a grade above me.
Yeah.
Because I got bumped up and he just stayed as was. So he was only a year like above me, and he was a cool kid in school.
Oh yeah.
He was like, everyone was loving him. He was like you know, he was just really like,
because he was like a gem. Like he's like, wow,
yeah,
wow,
100%.
Wow, this guy's from another country.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get really bullied or anything. There was like maybe some girls in my mosque that bullied me, which is kind of fucked up because it's like in my mosque, you know.
Yeah.
But at school it was cool, and that's why I was always like so friendly with the boys, because I always hung out with my brother's friends.
Yeah.
At that point, to me, after I got bullied in mosque by my like girlfriend, I was like, girls are bitchy.
Girls are so bitchy.
Literally, that was my whole attitude until like I found some friends in high school. My whole attitude was that I don't be friends with girls. They're so mean.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Like boys are just so less maintenance.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. There's probably like, I reckon I could count 10 girls I've met in my life that are like just not bitchy.
Yeah.
I can count 10.
100%.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. And my goal was always, I don't want to be like them. You know what I mean?
You've done a great job. You're one of the boys, Kash, but you're also, you're clearly a lady, all right? But you're just one of the boys. Like, it's awesome.
I mean.
It's awesome.
Like, I don't want to be no bitch, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to be no bitch.
It's not nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's because, like, I can imagine you've also had a few experiences in life with dealing with girls being bitchy. And one of the most common things I say on this podcast is empathy is the output for the input that is trauma. So because you know how it feels to have people act bitchy to you, you never want to put that feeling onto someone else.
100%.
But maybe a lot of girls have never been the backhand of the bitchiness. You know?
I'll tell you what it is. Sometimes girls have been on the backhand of the bitchiness, but they don't want to accept that happened to them. And they just kind of try to pretend and move on to the next thing. Okay. They're like, okay, now I want to be this. And at the beginning, so obviously I didn't like girls and then in high school I found a group of girls who were like we were really good friends, but then after that a lot of shit happened, and let's just say I was there for them in their hardest times, and when my hardest time came, they just decided to dip. Yeah. And at that point I was very salty. I was like, I don't want to be friends with girls all over again. But then it takes a couple of years to realize that they just weren't nice people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just really weren't nice people. And now I know that there is nice people
Yeah.
out
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that I have a best friend that's a girl, but, you know, I meet like Jackson's friends' girlfriends, and they're all
Yeah.
really nice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I try to get along with them.
Everyone has nice girlfriends, I've noticed. Everyone
Yeah.
does. And it is awesome to see girls get along with the
100%.
boys, like the boys' girlfriends. It really is. It's like, I hope one day that when I have a missus, she fits in with everyone's girlfriend. It's very important. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Because I realise, like, it's... If she doesn't get along with the boys' missus, maybe that's not the type of girl that I want to get along. I want to spend my time with, you know. I think that's an important thing.
But that's the case in a lot of, not gonna name anyone, but like it does happen. There's a lot of times where there's friendship groups and the girls don't get along with each other.
Okay.
But that's why I try to be like extra welcoming if I see that happening, because it's like you shouldn't feel like you don't fit into the group because you are a part of the group.
Yeah.
So you do belong here, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's okay to like get along with some people better than others. But as long as you're friendly and civil, it's that's what it is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I guess maybe it is happening behind the scenes. I just don't even notice.
Yeah. Like I went to the movies with Juliet yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we went to see Barbie. So that was awesome.
Yeah,
I love her.
cool.
She's really cool. Shout out Juliet.
Yeah, shout out Juliet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Was it a good movie, Barbie? Or was it not good?
I don't reckon males will like it, but I think it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Only because as a girl, like, you play with little Barbie dolls. I know not all girls do, but I did. And I had my little
I did
dream
too.
house.
Don't you worry about that. Don't
You
worry.
might like it.
Don't you worry about that. Yeah.
But then you see the development of Barbie, right? Like they came out with Barbies in darker colors. You know, they came out with Barbies that are not wearing like pretty things all the time. But when I was a kid and I was playing with Barbie, it was just like really pretty, beautiful, like perfect.
It was just white skin, blonde hair Barbie. That's who Barbie was. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the movie, they really showed that. And Margot Robbie, come on, she's like,
Got banging.
ah, she's a babe.
Yeah.
Honestly. But they're all like, the message was that you don't have to be perfect. And not every woman is perfect. And they all have to deal with things like other people do, like normally. And that, you know, it's not important to just be this picture perfect, like doll looking thing. It's okay to be something else.
That was actually a message in the movie.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
message. Like kids walked out crying. It was pretty cute. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've seen this TikTok actually talking about it, the movie, and they had this little scene where Barbie walks up to this table of girls and they're all like kind of being bitches to her.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene? That's
Yeah.
4 girls. Well, I'm going to look up right now just so I'm not 100% wrong because I usually am when I'm doing shit like this. Barbie movie. I'm going to write bitches names.
That's Sasha. That was her name.
Remember the dolls, Bratz dolls?
Yeah.
And they were like the enemies of Barbie? Well, their names are the same names as the girls from the movie.
Yeah, that's what Juliet told me. She was like,
Yeah.
that's the Bratz girls.
Yeah,
I
which
was
is
like,
crazy.
wow.
Yeah, Yasmin, Jade, Sasha, and then there was another one, Chloe. Is that that
Yeah.
one? Yeah. And they're the bitches' names for the movie. So That's a mad little thing that they put in the
100%.
movie. Yeah.
There's so many little things, like, honestly.
Yeah.
And my brother watched it with his girlfriend. And he goes, it's like very feminist. I'm like,
I did see lots of that too. Very feminist.
I said, yeah, kind of. But like, there's this whole part of the movie where Ken and Barbie, they go to like the real world because they're living in Barbie land.
Okay.
And then he goes to the real world and he's like, what the fuck? Men rule the world here?
Yeah.
So he goes back to Barbie land and he tells everyone, men rule the world. Like, patriarchy,
really?
etc. And they drew like horses everywhere. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
you know, he tried to take over the Barbie world.
Yeah.
But then they took it over. It's like pretty cheesy. But yeah, there's the whole
That's
portion
cool.
where they do show that men also want to be like loved and treated like, because you know how sometimes girls are like, oh, it's a girls' night, or
Yeah.
it's just all about girls, but it's not. It's about men as well. And I got that message back and understand how some males that watch it would be like, this is really feminist.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to go in very open-minded. Like,
Yeah.
I watched a video of Ben Shapiro. He's someone that I really do admire online. And he was talking about how it's mostly about feminism and, like, the ideology of, like, keeping men, like, behind the women.
Yeah.
But from a woman's perspective, I believe that should be the mindset. Because from a guy's perspective, the guy wants to feel like he's in charge, but he wants his missus to feel like she's in charge as well. You know, they both are allowed to believe that two things can work in parallel. So I get it. I'm not fucking hating on that. I think it should be part of the movie.
100%.
It should be a movie about girls.
Yeah,
That should be
and
what
it is exactly that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I read this post the other day where this I followed this girl that competes in like WBFF and stuff, and she's really cool. I think she's awesome. And she was just saying how like it's important for women to feel that they have the power to do whatever they want to do. Like, you know, you can do the same, and I'm not saying it feminist in a way like I should call this a woman, or you know what I mean, but like you have the same capabilities of doing certain things that other men do.
Yeah.
And you can do that for yourself. But at the same time, you have to explore your feminine side, like when you're in a relationship. You don't want to be like, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm talking for myself. I don't want to be wearing the pants. You know what I mean? Like, you can help with making decisions and stuff. But at the end of the day, you also have to nurture the masculine side of your partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just let that go.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's cool. It's good to know that, because I feel like in some relationships, it's the woman should be the one calling the decisions, because there's some men out there and they're just useless. They're fucking so useless. They need a woman to just be like, no, this is what's up 100% of the time, because if they don't, he's just going to be sitting there gaining weight, playing his PlayStation with the boys. That's all he cares about. Like,
there is some people like that.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I could be that PlayStation guy if I had a different life. Like, I can see myself doing it. So it's nice to have a woman who wears the pants, calls the shots. And then it's good saying what you're saying too, where it is a very masculine trait to want to feel like I make the decisions, like this and that, you know, which is good that both can relate, as we just said. Same as like, so women want to feel like they're in charge, men want to feel like they're in charge. They can both feel like they're in charge.
Exactly. And that at the end of the day, when you're in a relationship with someone, you're a team.
Yeah.
So if, say for example, I make a decision for me and Jackson, I'm not going to make it just thinking about me. I'm going to make it think about what's best for both of us. And he's the same. If he's going to, even if it's something as simple as, hey, babe, where do you want to eat today? You know, he's not just going to be like, we have to eat here because I want to eat here. You know, it's going to be like, oh, Kashish likes this. She's told me she liked it. And I'm feeling it. So maybe she'll, you know what I mean? It's like, it's being a team about it.
Yeah. Like, oh, I really want a schnitzel. Kashish feels like some pasta. Let's go to this
Where can we
place.
get both? Exactly. Yeah.
That's
exactly.
awesome. That's cool. Well, I've never had a long format conversation with a female before, to be honest with you, especially not on the podcast. So I'm curious, is it a common trait for women to feel a bit like they don't have the power to do everything they want to do growing up?
Growing up? Okay, look, I think this comes down to, personally, cultural things. Like, I feel like in ethnic families, not saying my family is very like, do whatever you want, etc. But in some families, like women are pushed back from doing what they want to do. Like sometimes girls want to go overseas and study, or even when you're like really young, say you're just in your teens, you're at the age that you're starting to go out, sometimes parents let the boys go out. They don't let the girls go out, you know what I mean? And then to them, from their point of view, it's like, I want to protect my little girl, but at the same time, to the little girl, it's like, they're like suppressing me, you know what I mean? But in countries like Australia, like developed countries, Western countries, America, UK, I think it's pretty equal, because at some point ethnic people have to adopt to the culture. It is what it is. But in India, nah,
Really?
Yeah, like in India, I'd say fucking 80% of the wives I know stay at home.
Okay.
They're not, like, they look after the kids and they cook food, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that's not what everyone wants to do in life. Like, you have to feel purposeful in some way, right?
Yeah. Do you think that it is, because it is confusing for me to think about, because I think about the idea that a female might feel purposeful in raising the children and looking after the place where everyone feels comfortable and things like that. I can see that, even as a male, I can see that being fulfilling. You know?
And that's the nurturing side of the female. Like, I want to look after my kid, etc. And to a sense, I think dads want to do that as well. But I'm more talking about personal accomplishments, like personal career growth, etc. Like, you see a lot of women are getting further and further in industries which were led by men in the past. You know what I mean? So I think it really just depends on, because I've met a lot of girls that are like, oh, I'd love to just stay home and look after my kids and stuff. And that's good on them. It's just whatever they want to do, they should be able to do.
Yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like we have got that society pretty much built in. I was more interested if you noticed that we had any flaws in our culture or our system or anything that helps doesn't help women feel like that, or is everything?
I feel like things are getting a lot better.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm curious, because if things are getting better, I'm curious as to like where it wasn't as better before.
well, I guess in terms of opportunities, like there is a wage gap, right? That's getting better. Like people are working on it more. That's one thing, and I guess just the whole like, even in relationships, like girls, like men are listening to their women more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like from what I grew up seeing, especially because of my ethnic background and because I was born in India, it's like the guy always gets to have the last say, etc. But now it's like it's more prominent that women have the last say.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool. It's cool. I seen this very, very interesting post on the toilet yesterday, actually, on TikTok, of this woman explaining that one toxic trait that a lot of females do have by accident, which a lot of men don't understand, which also creates their toxic trait, is that women express their thoughts through feelings and men express their thoughts through facts. And they often like, the guy's like, why can't you see what I see? And the girl's like, why can't you see what I see? It's because she's reacting based on how she feels about the thing, and he's reacting on what he thinks about the thing. And they're two different things. So it's good to have a healthy combination of both, because you can't just live your life based on what you think is truthful and factual.
Or what you feel.
Yeah, and you can't just do it based on what you feel.
Emotions are not the way to make decisions, you know what I mean? But I also, like, I think it's just overall, I don't know a lot of people in my life that feel like they're suppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
It could be happening elsewhere, but I'm...
Yeah. I want to know if I ever do meet anyone that does feel suppressed. I'm curious as to like how, where, and why, and I honestly think that we should fix it, because it'd be shit. I hate the idea of not being able to do what I want to do. I hate it.
No, 100%.
Yeah, I fucking love doing whatever I want to do. It's all. Exactly. If someone tells me no, it's like, gonna do it.
Gonna do it anyway because I want to.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Like, fuck the word suppression. Fuck whatever people are saying about this feminist issue. It's just that at the end of the day, the bottom line is, if you're able to do what you want to do, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing, you're not being done dirty, there's nothing wrong happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. I read this funny thing yesterday, actually. I'm reading The Laws of Human Nature. It's such a challenging book to get through because it's so fucking big. Yeah. And I was scared when I'm looking at it, like, oh no. Oh no. So I read a little book and I get to that one, I'm like, oh no, I'll read a little book. I'm like, finally on this one, I'm like, fine, I'll read it. And the last thing was it was about a psychologist who broke down this kid. He got suspended from school for selling drugs, and it was more of like a lesson from the principal. They didn't involve the police to like make a fucking big dent in his drug dealing business. Can't go to school, can't sell them, so his parents grounded him. He has to be at home. Someone else is obviously going to come now, start selling to all the kids. So it's good. It's good in that way. But then instead of telling the kid, right, you got to start trying while you're at home, you still have to do all of your schoolwork just from home. The psychologist told the boy's mom to tell him that the reason the teacher actually suspended you was because they didn't want to see you succeed in school, and they knew that while you were at home that you wouldn't be doing any work and your grades are going to get shit. And he's doing it to be like, fuck you, your grades are going to be shit. So then the kid fucking adopted this mentality that's like, yeah, you want to try and make my grades shit. So while he was at home, he fucking studied and studied and studied, and he ended up going back to school and then passing with one of the highest grades that year. And that was the whole reason from the beginning, because they knew he was not going to be like getting told what to do.
Oh, so it's kind of like reverse
psychology. Yeah. Which I thought was so interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's no flaws.
That's how I would have reacted to that. Yeah. I read it, I'm like, man, I feel what this kid's feeling right now.
Like, you're telling me I can't do this, fuck you. I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
It was cool. It's a good book. I would recommend The Laws of Human Nature.
Yeah.
Big book, but super interesting.
Put a link in the description.
I will put a link in the description, yeah. It talked about Coco Chanel. I thought this was an interesting thing. So the brand Chanel and how it all started. Can't remember the year. It was like 19... 1919, something
Yeah.
very early. And she was basically felt suppressed actually for most of her life growing up. And she would find a man and he would treat her nicely and stuff. But at the end of the day, it was always a man's world back then. It always was.
Yeah.
And then she was experimenting with his clothes one day, just trying them on. And then she started to be like, actually, this feels so much more comfortable without wearing all the tight restricted stuff and the things that pull your hips in, and even like the hats and everything was so constrictive.
Yeah.
So she was trying on his clothes, but then adopted the femininity into it. And then she started to create this new look and she wore it out. And her man at the time was very, very supportive and was like, if you feel comfortable, wear it. So she'd go wear it out, and then all these other females are like, damn, look at this bad bitch, right? Look at what she's doing. Look at her wearing a boy's shirt over the top of a freaking skirt and shit. And then all of a sudden it started to adopt into the culture.
Yeah.
Before she knew it, she started this brand and an empire and just changed fashion forever for females. And then a whole bunch of shit happened where the Nazis came into France because she was in France, so she had to adopt Nazism, and then because of that, the French didn't like her, so she got kicked out to Switzerland. And then eventually, as an old lady, she came back and she's like, I'm going to do it all again. So she took over culture again, changed the clothing, and then she's like, I want to make a smell that smells nice as well.
Oh, yeah.
So then she's like, how am I going to do this? And everyone's already wearing Chanel everywhere. It's the most popular brand that's ever existed. So she creates this smell that doesn't smell like anything that's ever smelled like before. And what she did, she started chucking it in people's bags as they would come into the store. For the first few weeks, it would just be an incense.
Yeah.
And people were like, where'd you get that from? And she's like, oh, I can't smell it. So then people started to be like, this is the smell of Chanel.
Yeah.
So then she just started chucking bottles in people's bags without any label.
Yeah.
Just small little bottles.
Just with the perfume.
Just everyone
Yeah.
just chucking them in, and people would be like, what's this mystery smell? And it started to become like a mythological lore, you know, like who's doing this? And then all of a sudden, bang, she starts releasing it on the shelves, and she's like, what can I call it that no one's ever called it before? I'll just call it like number 5. She just made it up, number 5.
Okay,
So it's
there's no like.
so, so she's like, it looks like there's been 4 before,
Yeah.
and now it looks like this is the perfect one. And even today, Chanel number 5
Yeah.
is the most important fucking
What a
perfume.
boss ass bitch.
She's a boss bitch, yeah. She's a boss bitch.
Oh
She
my
survived.
God.
She went through Nazism and everything, and then came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Good
cool.
on her.
yeah,
Good on her. But it shows in business as well, right?
yeah,
It's like all about creating anticipation.
mm.
Otherwise, your product's not gonna sell.
yeah. She created a hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, she.
And this like mystery behind
Yeah,
it.
mystery.
Yeah.
She didn't want to be like, this is what you all need to start doing.
Yeah.
She found a way to make everyone else be like, that's what we have to start doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want this.
That's
We
what I'm
have to-
trying to do too. I'm trying to think of that thing now. Yeah, I want to
No,
get in
that's
culture.
awesome.
I want to take over culture. I just want to, at least want to put my foot in the door for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Make
I-
a mark.
Yeah, I like those brands like Jade Up. Have you seen Jade Up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. They have an awesome. I'll put a link in the description actually of a interview he did on an Australian podcast where he just talks about how he started it.
Yeah.
And fuck, it's just so dope. I'd love to do something that just takes over.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
100%. It's like interesting to see how they came up with this, and then they made it like a whole thing, and now it's
Yeah.
like successful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. I love hearing the backstory of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Freaking love it. Kat, what I want to talk about with you
Yeah.
is the uni.
Yeah.
All right. So let's let everyone know what's the correct terminology for the course of
It's
law.
called a Bachelor of Law.
Bachelor of
Undergraduate
Law.
Bachelor of Law. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does a Bachelor of Law take?
4 years full time.
Yeah. And you're getting close, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm like I'd say I'm halfway. So
Yeah, halfway.
still halfway to go,
Nice.
but like it gets better and better.
Yeah,
You know, like, because I always wanted to be a lawyer, right? And my family always told me it was because I watched the show Suits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, I won't
That would
lie,
make-
I
oh.
did glorify the show like
Yeah.
itself. I was like, this is so cool. I want to be like that.
Yeah, that would make anyone want to be a lawyer. That made me want to be a lawyer. Yeah.
But then I got out of high school and I was like pretty lost. I was like, I don't fucking know what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I got a decent ATAR. So I got early entry to Bachelor of Security Studies, which is, it's like, I didn't think it was what it would be, like what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like our relationship with China.
Oh.
Or how we're gonna like protect ourselves from this and that, right?
And what did
like-
you think it was going to be like?
I thought it was gonna be like, well, I did think it was gonna be like strategies, but this went into full like terrorism, spying, etc. But I thought it was gonna be a bit more straightforward and more like international studies to see like what other countries work like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to see like how economy and things like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
exactly, and
yeah.
how that affects Australia. But it was more like, how they're gonna fuck us up. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, what do
yeah.
we do to terrorists
Like
to
the
like
ultimate game of
de-radicalize?
chess. That's what it is. Go to uni for chess. Yeah, yeah.
And I'd go to these classes, and all these people are so passionate about it. I'm like, I have no fucking idea what.
Yeah.
Like, they knew the names of famous terrorists,
Oh,
etc. And
wow.
I'm like, got no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But I stood it alright in it. But
Like
then
Bin
I was
Laden, I
like,
heard of him. Bin Laden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, Hitler. Yeah, Hitler. I know Hitler.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, Kim Jong Un. I know that one.
So
Yeah.
they did this. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And my professor would always pick on me because she knew I knew nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And be like, I don't know. But the thing is, I was always good at writing essays and doing research. Like, I still passed, it was all good. But then I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
Yeah, yeah.
Then I started doing the whole mortgage broking thing.
I
Which,
remember this.
yeah, which I thought was cool. It was like, mainly my main motivation was to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it'd be like easier than it was, or
Yeah.
like it would be less. Like, look, I'm 19 at the time, right? And first of all, you have to find an experienced broker who's willing to mentor you and take you under their wing, right?
Yeah.
Now, this means giving them money.
Mm,
You have to either give them a fee or you have to give them a commission out of your whatever you earn, right? And you're already giving the bank money, like there's money going everywhere, right?
yeah.
And the thing was, you had to source your own clients. So when I went to my interview for this My Loan Expert, shout out to My Loan Expert, very
Yeah.
good broking firm.
Yeah, nice.
And basically they were impressed by my resume because I'd been working since I was 13.
Nice.
And that's
Where
not-
at? Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. Where'd you work
My
at
first
13?
ever job was a porter.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Nice.
like, I still remember the interview. Like, it was a brand new store opening in Stanhope,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I went to the interview. I'm 13. I have no idea about how like life runs, business runs.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking to the interview guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, are you happy to work here?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "So is it just gonna be 4 people running the whole store?" Because
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "No."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, "So it'd be more than that?" And he's like,
Yeah, I think maybe 1 or 2 more. Yeah.
I feel like such an idiot. Like, now that I look back on it, that was my first ever job. That was like child fucking exploitation. They
Yeah.
paid you like $7 an hour.
Yeah, I feel that. I got something very
Bro,
similar.
they
to
made you
that.
do all the work as well. You
Yeah.
do more, like, if you're good at it, they'll just fucking put you on the open,
Yeah.
the close, everything. You're like,
Yeah.
so I left that, and then when the KFC in Glenwood,
Yeah.
like Parkley, opened, I worked there for four years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I
Yeah.
knew that and I forgot that. Wow.
Yeah. Me, Jay, Seth, everyone
Yeah,
worked there.
Fisher
dude.
worked there.
Fisher
Yeah.
worked at Kings Park.
Oh,
KFC.
Kings Park
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
But Brad worked there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, a lot of people worked there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I stayed there for 4 years, and then my dad opened his own like Mad Max business in Newtown, so I worked there as well. I
Wow.
was making like good money for like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just had a bunch of random jobs after that. But so when I went to the interview for the broking thing, they were like, "Oh, the only reason we called you is because we're impressed that you've been working for a while, you got customer service skills, etc. But we're concerned that because you're 19, people aren't going to trust you. And like, what's your plan to try to get business over other people that are more experienced?" And like, I had a whole plan written down, and I was like, and they were like, your figures look a little bit. I was like, this is how much I need to make in the first year. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is how it's going to be profitable. And he just helped me like alter the figures a little bit. He was like, this is more realistic.
Yeah.
And then they were like, what do you think is actually going to get you there? And I remember saying that, look, I don't know what it is, but I genuinely believe that I'm going to give it my all and do my absolute best. And I genuinely believe that I'll get there. And so all I said, they went away for 2 minutes, talked, and they're like, all right, we'll take you in.
Yeah. Good.
And I learned a lot from them, and I learned a lot from the whole business. Like, if I want to do my own home loan today, I could do it easily.
Oh, nice.
Like, I learned how to read tax returns. I could do my own tax returns now because I've learned all these little skills from this business. And it's honestly daunting trying to get clients.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Because your friends and your family don't want to be your clients because they don't want you to know about their financial affairs.
Kind of true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not really comfortable. A lot of people aren't comfortable with somebody they know knowing everything about, because you check their bank statements what their expenses are, how much rent they're paying, you know what I mean? Like how much they're
Yeah.
earning even. And people just don't want...
I wonder why it's so familiar to let other people determine your knowledge instead of your friends and family, you know? Maybe I should change that a little bit. Maybe I should look for someone that I feel a bit more comfortable with than a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then my friends are actually going to have my best interest.
That's what I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, dude, in this broking game, if anyone's looking for a home loan, make sure you scope your broker out, because a lot of them are going to do dodgy shit just to get you fucking the loan. And then when it comes to all these interest rate hikes and stuff, you're not going to be able to repay it. So just be 100% honest about what exactly your expenses are. Don't try to hide them, because at the end of the day, you want to be able to make your repayments.
Yeah.
And the assessment that they do is based on incoming and outgoing. So if you dodgy that up or lie about it, and then these unexpected interest rates happen, like hikes happen, then what are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good thing you started doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got some good knowledge from that.
Exactly, yeah. So then I was like, you know what? Let me go to uni and try to do finance.
Yeah.
And now my brain with maths and numbers.
Yeah.
I always hated maths, like in school. I was never good at it. I still don't know my times tables.
Yeah, yeah.
Like dead set. Like
Yeah.
I have to use the calculator for most things.
Yeah.
And the thing with broking was they have calculators for everything. So you just put in the figures and it works out, right? It's more like analysis than maths.
Yeah.
So when I go into this financial, like, it's like intro to finance or something like that in accounting. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. So I dropped it. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then at the final end, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to pursue law. But the reason I never did it in the beginning was because my ATAR was never good enough.
Yeah.
But I think once you reach a certain age, or you have a bit of experience in uni or work or something, then they assess you based on that.
Yeah, okay.
And then they sometimes let you in.
So what was it like in the beginning when you first went to uni for law? Like, how did you feel? What did it have the course mostly have in it?
So in the beginning, they just teach you the intro. Like, this is what a judge does in a court. These are the other parties in a court. This is what they do. And I think one of the first subjects I took was contract law. Because I guess everything legal is mostly based on a contract, right?
Yeah.
It's like wills, conveyancing, marriage, everything is based on contracts. So if you know how to read contracts, then you're cool, But and a lot of people hated contract law because they're like, this is so tedious. You actually have to read a lot and figure out the loopholes, how you can get out of this, etc. But I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I am loving this. This is great.
Yeah, nice.
And in everything else I did, I never really got good grades. But then in this, I got a distinction and a high distinction.
Damn.
In my first 2 units of law. And I was like, okay. I think this is going to be good. This is going to be good. So then the next semester, I took up 3 units instead of 2. So a full-time load is 4 units.
Yeah.
But I'm doing 3 at the moment because 4 is just like, you'd rather do better at 3 and add on half a year than do 4 and just do shit at them, you know what I mean?
And you have more time to work and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I live with, I don't live with my parents or anything, so I have to work and make money, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it came to the second semester and I was working at the pub. So the reason I got a job at the pub was because, and my professor told me this, right? He's doing a PhD in environmental law or something like that. And he's like, I work in an RSL. I'm like, what? Like, you have a fucking PhD and work at RSL? And he's like, yeah, because while I study like 5 days a week, I need to work, but I need something that takes like 10% of my brain capacity. And that's what working at the pub is.
Yeah, cool.
It's like you literally just talk to people, you pour a beer. It's really not rocket science. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so easy. And the people love to chat. When they're drunk, they just love to chat. So that's how you pass your time.
Nice.
So I was doing that. And then obviously I just like stressed myself out a lot at because that's when Jackson's hand was injured as well. So I was just like stressing a lot. I don't know why. But then I guess that stress was because I didn't just want to do alright. I didn't just want to do average. Or I didn't want to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do my best, give it my best shot. And at the end of the semester, I thought, it went all right. I was like, because you wait for your results and you really don't know what's happening until you get those results, right?
Yeah.
And I got my results and I was like, okay, two high distinctions and a distinction. And I was like, all right, what the fuck? Right? I was like, okay, that's cool and all, right? And then a bit later, this year, I think at the beginning of this year. So they do like awards and stuff for the past semester a bit later in the next semester. So I get an email, and I don't regularly check my student emails because it's like,
Yeah,
or just-
random shit.
Yeah, random shit.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't need to check this.
TAFE New South Wales.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, don't need to read that.
Yeah.
So I opened my email just randomly once because like, let's see what's going on. And then I got an email saying that, congratulations, you've come first in the country
Oh
in your
my
school for
God.
commercial law. And I was like, no. What?
Yeah, like, what's
What
spam?
the fuck?
Yeah,
No, it's
like
like-
marking spam.
And then under that, it's like RSVP for your event ceremony
Oh.
for this award thing. I'm like, literally, I was like sitting in the toilet reading this email, and I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, what the
Jackson!
fuck?
Yeah.
So first person I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, guess what? I got this award. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so
Aw.
proud of you. And then I
Aw.
told my dad, and they're both like, I could only take one person.
Yeah.
And Jackson was working that day. So my mom and dad are just fighting. They're like, no, I want to go. I was like, no, I want to go.
Yeah.
But then that really boosted my confidence up.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, like, maybe I'm actually really good at this. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, maybe I can just keep doing good at it. And then it just got easier and easier.
Yeah, that would have been dope. What a
Yeah.
good feeling that would have been.
Exactly. And this year, so I'm starting the second semester on Tuesday. But the first semester, I took criminal law, right? And that's in my uni, they say it's one of the hardest units because 2 years in a row, they've had a fail rate of 50%.
Wow.
So 50% of people that take the class fail.
Wow.
So I stressed myself out. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking failing this.
Yeah.
So the worst thing to me ever was having to repeat something.
Yeah.
And be like, what a waste of time. And
Yeah,
money. Because
yeah.
like $2 to do one, you know
Oh.
what I mean? So I was like, no, I'm not going to fail it. And at the end, guess what I came out with?
I don't know. You're pretty high expectations for me. I don't know.
90%.
Oh, yeah. Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
I surprised
With a
myself.
50% fail rate, too.
Mhm.
Wow.
I was like, no, I'm going to fail. This is just fucked. I don't know how it's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
Somehow, like, exams, because you have an exam that's worth 50% at the end of the semester. And that's always like, you got to smash that. Otherwise, no matter what you did during the other assessments and stuff, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like got really good at exams. Like I had literally, and it's open book.
Yeah,
So
cool.
you can have your notes and stuff. But
Nice.
some dickheads think that open book means that you're going to pass anyway. I'm
Yeah.
like, because the textbook's like 700 pages.
Yeah.
You have 2 hours to do like 5 questions.
Yeah.
And they're like
Yeah.
full like page length answers.
Wow.
You don't have time to look through the textbook. Fuck that. So I had
Yeah.
60 pages of notes.
Wow.
But you know how you can do the Control F on your computer
Yeah,
to
yeah.
find stuff?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I would use, yeah.
Nice.
Notes on one side, exam on the other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as, like, yeah, I guess it's just about, and then it just gets easier. Because you're like, okay, you don't think you're a dumb cunt anymore. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that
this
would
is
definitely
not
help.
bad.
That would
Yeah,
definitely help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn,
just
I've never
keep
had
it
any-
up and just get there.
Yeah, I guess I kind of have had something like that too. When you start to get told in your apprenticeship that you're doing well, it makes you work even better.
Yes.
But you have to wait until you're actually doing well before anyone tells you. Otherwise, you got to just double down on being a fuckwit if you're not doing
Exactly. You think you're an
Yeah,
idiot. You
yeah.
dead set think you're like, I'm not good at this. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
well. Yeah, which is why I think like participation awards. It's like I hear about those and it's like, maybe it's not the best thing just to reward people for showing up. You know?
Yeah.
You reward people for giving it a good try.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is fucking awesome, Kash. You're killing it.
Thank you. Thank
Fucking
you.
killing
I'm
it.
so proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm
honestly.
proud of you too.
Thank you,
Very
thank
cool.
you.
It sounds like you work very well under stress. Very
Yeah,
well.
100%. Like, it's weird because stress motivates me to do better.
Yeah.
It's like, even during my holidays and stuff, I was like, no, I have to get this done today. And that's it. I write a list every morning of everything I have to do.
Yeah.
And then if I forget something and I've done it,
Yeah.
I'll go back to the list, write it down.
I do that too. I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
It makes me feel so accomplished.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Ashley tells me that when she does it,
Yeah.
and shout out to Ashley, I know Ashley's listening to this one too because she was excited to listen to this
Oh,
one.
no.
She does it on her phone, so she'll like at the end of the day, she'll look at her phone, she'll look at her list, and she'll write clean car, and then she'll just backspace it. That's next level though.
Oh, dude,
That's
I
next
do that
level.
all the fucking time. But it's just like, okay, it needs to get done. It's gonna get done.
Yeah, yeah.
Has to be done. And when I get stressed sometimes you wake up like when you're in, it doesn't just have to be with uni. It could be with anything. Like, say you're at work and you've got like a really big, important job on today, and say you're running it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you just wake up stressed, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not in the right headspace. How am I
Yeah.
going to perform today, etc. I don't know if other people do this, but if I don't have like my journal handy, I'll pick up my phone, start a new note, and I'll be like, note to self,
Yeah, nice.
right? And then I'll be like, okay, you don't need to stress. This is under control. This is under control. This is what you have to do. As long as you do it, you'll be right.
Nice. Talk yourself through it.
Yeah,
Calm yourself
exactly.
down.
Talk yourself through it. Yeah.
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 If
And just
when
breathe.
you put things down, especially on like piece of paper,
Yeah.
I guess notes on your phone is the same, but you kind of like simplify everything straight away.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as I'm overwhelmed with something, I'll just start writing down what it is that I'm overwhelmed with, and I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, you know what I mean? I might
Yeah.
only get 4 words in, and the first 4 words, I'm like, and then I realize everything else I was going to write. I'm like, oh, sweet.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Because in your head, originally, it feels like this big. And then you write it down, you're like, it's really not that big.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just stressing myself over nothing.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we both have undiagnosed ADHD.
Yeah, no doubt. I've got to be doing something. If I'm not doing something, oh my God, I'm doing everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like your head is just like, what's
Yeah.
next?
It's the monkey
next?
jump up and down. yeah. No, I love writing shit down now because like, even when it comes to like when I think about work the day I just had, I have one journal for work, so I'll write down what I did that shift, and if I don't go into specific detail, I might only get like 2 sentences out of a whole page of
Yeah.
what I did at work, and it's like I've worked fucking 10 hours. I should have more than 2 sentences, but it just simplified everything I did so easily.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like it makes me feel relieved about the day I just had. It's like, oh, maybe I didn't actually do as much as I thought I did, you know. And then it's like I just trick myself into having more energy for the next day. Or,
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like I write down, and if I want to go into detail, I'll trace step by step. And then it's like, oh, hang on, yeah, we need to get more of these clips. And then I think about it more. I'm like, oh, we actually should get more solder. We should get more paint. We should get things. And
Because
then
ideas build on each other.
yeah,
And as you're saying, like, you write something, you've worked for 10 hours, but you're writing like 2-3 sentences, right?
yeah,
And you know what? It's the best way to do it. Tell you why. Because in law, they always teach us. So in law, you're reading. So there's obviously legislation, which governs a lot of law. But where there's the issue you're dealing with, where it's not in legislation, it's dealt with by the courts.
okay,
So that'll be, it's called precedent. Yeah, precedent. And if it's not been dealt with in Australia, you use a different country.
oh really?
Yeah, like we follow English law.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
our oldest, like, have you heard of finders keepers?
Oh yeah.
That's the dead set rule in law, in English law, that we still follow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So so the terminology theft by finding, is that really true or not true?
Theft by finding. It's
Like,
like,
so finders keepers is like if you find it, it's yours, isn't it?
so the like simple way to explain it is that if I find $100 on the floor and I've tried to look for its true owner, but I can't find the true owner, it's mine.
Yeah.
And it's
nice.
rightfully mine.
Yeah.
But if I didn't do anything to try to find the true owner, then if the true owner comes and says it's theirs, then
Yeah.
can't do
Then you
anything
said that
about
then it's
it.
theft by finding.
yeah.
Okay.
And I guess the morals come in there. It's
Yeah.
like you can't just take something that you found.
Yeah.
But if you try to look for someone who owned it, then
Yeah.
it's yours.
So could you just like find $100 in the term of law and then be like, does anyone lose any money?
Mm-hmm.
How much money was it? Where did you lose it? Do you have to be specific and be like, hey, did you lose $100 over there?
Yeah.
Do you have to be specific?
Yeah. You have to
Oh.
be specific because let's be real. In today's society, if you go to the pokies and you find $100 and you ask everyone whose it is, they're all gonna say it's theirs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I guess we're talking more in terms of items.
Yeah.
Like you find a gold necklace.
Yeah.
The person whose it is gonna be able to describe it to you. You know
So
what
you
I
have
mean?
you can let them describe it to
Yeah.
you.
You don't have to
Yeah.
tell them that, hey, this is what I found. You can just be, I found a gold necklace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, it's got this little bit of silver on it. It's got a bit of this and that.
Yeah.
And then you can decide it's theirs.
Wow.
Or even if you make a police report, right? If you find something valuable, you make a police report, say, can you find it? They can't find the true owner. They have to give it back to you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just go into a bunch of police stations and be like, hey, I lost a gold necklace. You know, just everywhere. Just hopefully someone's done
It's
the right.
mine.
Yeah. And I end up with like 50 gold chains. That'd be sick. Yeah.
But yeah, so as I was saying, like, all our law, like, originates from what's been decided before. And these English law, when you have to read these cases, it's like jargon. It's like it makes no sense because the judges write reports, but obviously back then they wrote in like Old English.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like Shakespeare, bro. You're like, what the fuck?
Thou must not style. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, like through development of law, they're always like they teach you that to be a good lawyer, you have to be, if you know nothing about the law, for example, I have to be able to write it and explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So it has to be concise. And that's literally how to succeed in this degree, is to be concise about everything.
Okay. So instead of reading, it actually says, advance at me, brethren. You could just be like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
Advance on, brethren.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to use
what?
big words,
Yeah,
it or like weird language. You can just be like, this is what happened and this is the solution, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's good to be concise about things.
Yeah.
Because one day, if you ever want to write your own book or something,
Yeah.
then that'll help with that too.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed about writing books, especially. It's you have to be. That's one thing that I've been told a lot as well over the last, call it, 5 years, and that's intelligence isn't just what you understand; it's how you can explain to someone else so they can understand it.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing when it comes to training an apprentice.
Oh yeah.
You have to dumb everything down to the simplest way to explain it, even if it doesn't actually explain what you're trying to explain. You might just be like, what's an example for it? So say in refrigeration, like my trade, there's no such thing as actually making something cold. You can't make something cold. You can only remove the heat out of something. So one thing I tell people, the first thing I say, there's no such thing as refrigeration.
Yeah.
You just take away heat. Even though it's a bit more complicated than that, you know, you can go.
But they get the concept that the whole point is to get the heat out of there. It's not to make, and that will eventually make it colder.
Yeah. I just tell people refrigeration is not real. It doesn't exist, you know? It doesn't
just a word.
exist. Yeah. Refrigeration is not existing.
Yeah.
And then from there you can build your way up. So that's a kind of what intelligence is, which is exactly how you're saying
100%.
too. Yeah.
And that's why lawyers get paid so much.
Yeah.
And it's a skill, it really. But did you hear the other day, this criminal defense lawyer got shot?
No. Was it in Australia?
So, yeah, in Sydney, in like the Greenacre Fairfield area, there's been 5 shootings in 5 days.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. Wow.
It's like, I don't know exactly, but it's a King Wars.
Yeah.
But this defense lawyer got shot.
What?
And it's like, that's what turns people away from wanting to defend, like,
Yeah.
gang. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, it's scary because like you just want to do your job. You don't want to be like under threat or anything.
Yeah.
But that was crazy.
Did he
I
die?
read that. Nah, he survived.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The other 4
He should drop a
shootings-
mixtape.
Yeah, he should. A documentary, a book, anything, bro.
lawyer turned gangster.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
sure there was some sort of like backhand scheme
Yeah,
going
yeah,
there,
yeah.
but you know, like that's scary. to
Yeah, that
think
is
of.
scary.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So what do you want to do when you become a lawyer? What do you want to focus in?
I think more, let's say, commercial law. It's more like to do with civil wrongs. So between companies or between individuals where there's claims involved.
Yeah.
So
nice.
it's not against the state. So everything in criminal law is against the state. It's like state versus this person. That's why you always see R versus whoever, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think I'd be good at that as well. But I think I'd like to do that for pro bono work.
Yep.
So that's like when you're doing free stuff for people who can't afford.
Yeah,
And
that's
a
like
lot
is
of
that the
those-
last year of your uni, or
Yeah,
is it-
you do that as a I can do it from any point from now to the end of my degree.
Okay.
But like even when I'm a lawyer, I'd like to do that
Okay.
because it's that if you have the skill,
Yeah.
then most people that need a lot of help aren't big businesses. They have money. You
Yeah.
know? It's more like people who are in family court
Yeah.
fighting over custody for their children, or like people who have been accused of a criminal act but they don't have money to have a lawyer or anything.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be awesome to help people like that.
Yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
reading that our like legal aid funding system is fucked.
Yeah.
It keeps getting lower and lower every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The funding gets lower. Wow, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
Because now it just means that community legal centers, they just do stuff for free. They have to literally like almost beg for a space
Yeah.
to have their office so that they
Wow.
can do their work.
Wow.
But it's just lawyers doing shit for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a very generous. That's
Yeah.
a very generous thing people are doing.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
very
we need that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like if
Otherwise,
that,
it's dictatorship, no
Yeah.
democracy. Yeah.
and no justice. It's like
Yeah.
how a lot of people just don't go to court because they're like, I don't have money to fight this. And if I do it myself, I'm probably going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like... But in cases of like traffic offending and stuff, trust me, you can represent yourself
Yeah.
so easily.
I've done it enough.
Yeah.
Trust me. Trust me.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
difficult.
I just represented myself for something in court probably like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. And I went in there and then he goes, "Where's your lawyer?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't need a lawyer. I'm here to represent myself."
Yeah.
And it was for like I'm shooting a gun.
Yeah.
And
you
I'm
told
just
me
like,
that.
was I meant to get a lawyer? I'm thinking in my head like, shit, should I got a lawyer? And he's like, bro. See, I could tell the guy was looking at me like, bro, you should have got a lawyer. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck.
But like, it was
Yeah.
fine. Did you feel all right talking to the
Yeah,
judge
I
and
feel
stuff?
comfortable talking. I realized when I was in there, it's like, I was born for this. I was actually born for this.
You should become
I
a
look
lawyer.
like everyone else in there,
Yeah.
but I speak like I'm meant to be on the other side. You know, like I was meant to, this is for me. I was
100%.
destined for court, yeah.
But if you're good at talking, you can represent yourself.
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. It's all about just being apologetic, I feel like, when you're representing yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about that.
To be like, I'm so sorry this happened. And then you also have to talk about how it affected the community or the other person,
Yeah.
and how it's not good for the... 'Cause that's the
I always
basis
just say,
of
I'm
law.
sorry. I always say this when I get to court. I always say, "You're right," or "Ma'am," or whoever's sitting up there. I just say, "I'm sorry." Let me just start by saying I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time. I know this is a complete waste of everyone's time and effort and money. And I just want to start off by saying I understand what I did was wrong, and I'd just like to play my case or whatever. And it's just like
Yeah.
straight away, just acknowledge the fact that like shouldn't be here, dickhead over here. You know?
Me.
Yeah, yeah. And then you hear other people get up there, they're just like, yeah, what? You know what I mean?
That's not going to help.
This guy, I can't remember exactly what he said the last time I
Yeah.
was in there, but he's like, I was like, "Where's your lawyer?" And he's like, "Oh, he couldn't make it." "What do you mean he couldn't make it? Where is he?" He's like, "No, I just said he couldn't make it." I was like, "Well, are you guilty or not guilty?" He goes, "No, not guilty." He's like,
No,
"What do you mean not guilty? You fucking robbed someone." And he's like, "Yeah, no, it wasn't me." And like, "Bro, you need a lawyer." And he's like, "Yeah, I had one. Didn't make it." Oh, like, fuck, bro.
Oh my god.
Send this guy to jail. Send this guy to
Straight
jail.
up.
He wore trackies and thongs. Like, I'm like, send this guy to jail.
No way,
Yeah.
you wore trackies and thongs to court.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's another tip, dress up well.
Yeah, he dresses nice
Yeah.
as you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wear a fucking suit, bro. Like,
Just
doesn't
don't wear
matter.
anything that's expensive, like jewelry and shit.
Yeah, like if you've been accused of fucking drug dealing, don't
Yeah.
rock up in your Gucci bag and Versace shoes. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. They asked me, like, what do you do for work and stuff? And I explained to them. And then they started to say, how much do you make? I'm like, damn it. Then you have to, like, I just started there. It's hard to know how much I make. Like, you know, I'll know properly when I do my next financial statement, but I might be lucky to make probably about average wage at the moment, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they're like, okay, sweet. Have a little fine. Like, yes. Not gonna be like, I smash an overtime, bro. It's fucking sick. It's like living away allowance. It's mad. Then they hit me with like a 10 grand fine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's cool. I love it. It's fucking
Yeah.
cool, Cash. So how do you want to? So when you do like commercial stuff, would that come to like people fighting over patents and things like that? Like they feel like this company stole my idea and all that kind of stuff.
So I guess at the end of the day, when you're talking commercial law, it could be anything. It's a pretty wide bracket because it just means that it's between two people or two companies. So you're talking mergers, acquisitions. So that's all behind the court.
yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be in the court. But at the same time, it's like, KFC said that their food's healthy.
Yeah.
That's misleading. So how can we sue them and get money out of them for that? It's about that. And then they can be taught. Like this guy had an insider tip and he did insider trading.
Yeah.
And now he's making money off it. So let's sue him.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But even when big banks and stuff, they get into trouble for like money laundering or something, that's also a part of like civil wrongs.
Yeah.
And then patents and stuff, so that's a whole new area of law. It's intellectual torts. So it's like intellectual property
Yeah.
and how you've been wronged.
But
by
then
someone.
intellectual property.
Yeah.
What the heck? What comes under that? Just patents or
Patents, your trademarks, anything that you've created. Like say for example,
or anything that came out of your thought process.
yes, anything that came out of your
like
mind.
logos and things
It's
like
not
that.
physical,
Yeah.
but it you created it. Like
Yeah.
it's your idea and you've made it.
Yeah.
Even an idea.
Yeah. Even an idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like even like a financial plan, I guess, or a business strategy or a recipe, could
Yeah.
all that thing become under that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
Intellectual
for
property.
example, Coca-Cola has their own recipe that no one knows. Like,
Yeah.
literally no one knows about it. If someone did leak it or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. You could come up. You could just get all sorts of crazy
All
cases.
sorts of crazy stuff. And it's like, when you're in that, it's big money. Because it's like, instead of charging a fee, so you can charge a fee, but a lot of lawyers, what they'll do is they'll say, okay, your claim is $1 million. Or say even it could be 100 mil, it could be 200 mil, you know what I mean? I'll take 1% of that.
Wow. Imagine taking
Yeah.
on 1% of 100 million.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's like you gotta be really good to get there, but
Yeah.
I'm prepared. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's like the show Suits, like I guess
Yeah.
everything's like a $700 million claim, $4 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
4 billion. You're like, oh, I watched that show. Fuck. 4 billion. Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
I want to sue someone for 4 billion. Yeah.
And then I want 1% of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But my vision with this whole thing is that, like, when I was younger, when I was saying like year 9 or something, my parents asked me, what do you want to do, like, in your life for your career and stuff? And I was like, you know what, I just want to help people. I was like, well, maybe I'll do social work. And then my mum explained to me, like, you know, if you really want to help people on a big scale, then it can't just be done through a social work, because like, you're gonna make like 60k a year, and then you don't have enough money to fund these things that you want to do, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Like, I wasn't always to be like, oh no, I'm still gonna do whatever I want, but I was like, you know, that kind of makes sense. So what I want to try to do is first get into commercial law. And the thing is that when I came first in that thing, I got a letter from the dean of the school,
No.
like a letter of commendation, I think. So I can, if I wanted to get an internship or something, I could go take that to people, and they'd be like down
Nice.
to, like, it wouldn't be very difficult for me to try to find something that I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
once,
that's the best resume
Yeah.
sticker.
oh
my
yeah,
gosh.
dude, letter from the dean.
Yeah, that's like the worst sticker of approval. That's what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like,
FDA
you're
approved.
on the honor roll? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do that. You have to work under someone for 2 years, and then you can decide if you want to specialize in something. So in America, you pick your specialization from the beginning.
Okay.
You say, I'm going to do criminal law, and that's all. But here, they teach you everything.
Yeah.
Then you get a bit of experience. Then you get to decide what you want to specialize in, and you do like a test for it.
Okay.
And then they give you accreditation saying that, okay, you are good at family law, for example. And then that way you can open your own practice from that.
Yeah.
So depending on how it's going, like, I wouldn't say I necessarily want to be a barrister. So those are the people that fully just, that their only job is to go to court.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of do behind the scenes stuff too, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
get a bit of experience, open my own practice, get experience with that, make some money. Then you can eventually go into like policy reform. So say if it's like something I'm passionate about is like imprisonment, and how it's like, it's stupid. It's a
Yeah.
stupid idea, because you're putting in a drug dealer with a murderer.
Yeah. Yeah.
The difference in the crime,
Put
you
a
know what
drug
I
dealer with
mean?
a terrorist.
Yeah. Like Alex told me his fucking celly was like, he was into like nuclear weapons or some
Yeah.
shit like that. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck?
Say we saw you. We had a terrorist celly. Yeah.
I'm like, how are you gonna put a fucking 22-year-old, like someone that's been done for
Selling
drugs?
bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with someone who's a fucking terrorist, like, come on. They're not gonna come out better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense, you know.
Yeah.
So nowadays they're trialing a lot of things like alternative dispute resolution. Like, there's this new thing where if someone's committed a crime against, say, like, you were driving and you accidentally killed someone, they'll get you to talk to the family of that
Oh,
person.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
To see how it's affected them. And you can apologize and say that, you know, I really didn't, like, obviously it's not intentional, it's an accident.
Yeah.
But you need to know how they felt,
Yeah.
so that you don't do it again.
That's
or you
that's
don't
intense.
get worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
But they're trying a lot of things, even for Aboriginal people nowadays. They do like a circle hearing, which is like they've got their elders and everything, because they listen to their elders more than they listen to the court.
Yeah.
So there'll be like a court representative there, and then there'll be the elders who'll say, this is your punishment based on Aboriginal law. So there's a lot of things that are going on nowadays to stop this like cycle of retribution. It's just, it's continuous because people, as the Sahu was saying in this podcast, people are ready to go to jail.
Yeah,
They're like, they come out and they're like, we're ready to go back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, how does that help anyone?
Yeah, I'm with you. Jail should be about rehabilitation, not should be about punishment. Yeah, it should just be about how to learn not to do the crime again.
Yeah.
That's what it should always be. I don't
100%.
understand why it's just locking someone in a cage for a period of time.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
It's retarded. It's honestly stupid. There's no justice in that. Absolutely no justice. And even worse is when somebody's been arrested for something and the officer just decides that they're a threat to society. Their hearing it could take 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And that whole time, they're in jail. They could even be not guilty. And they're still in jail. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how is that fair? It's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's wasting taxpayer money as well. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's a business, but it's a business, and unfortunately, like people like in prisons, especially if they're privately owned, but they'll have contracts for like food. They'll have contracts for power and heating and all these things, and all these businesses are paying taxes. And it's actually part of Australia's economy to keep these businesses running. If all the prisons shut down, Australia will probably go into an economic crash. Probably go into a recession if the prisons stopped having criminals. The same with like driving. If the police don't pull people over and fine them, we'd go into a recession. We actually need police to fine people. That's why they keep adding extra little bits and pieces.
It's all about revenue.
Yeah, it's all revenue. Instead of it just being a 10% leniency for speeding, now it's 5%. Instead of being all these little things. It's like they showed it when they did the COVID. Like if you're caught within fucking 1 kilometer from your house, $5,000. You know what I mean? You're not wearing a mask, $5,000. Because they were giving out money. So we've based our whole system on doubling down on the fact that people have to break the law.
100%.
You know, it's stupid. It's so stupid.
It's so dumb. And you know, when I went to the award ceremony, there was like this really renowned lawyer who fights for human rights and stuff, and he was just talking about how fucked up COVID was. And it's really good to see that he's able to talk about that in front of a public and be like, you all were like, this is good, but this is how it's defeating our human rights. Like, that is not the way to go. It created so many more issues. And that's the good thing about being a lawyer, because you don't just have to follow whatever everyone else is saying. You can have your own opinion as long as you back it up with research. And it works, you know, you're able to influence people. And it's just, COVID, I still can't believe that shit, man, honestly.
I know, I could talk about COVID for the rest of and to be honest, we probably will be speaking about it for the rest of our lives. It'll be something that the future generations of kids heard about. You know, there was a period where for fucking 2 years we were stuck inside. You know, it's make believe. We went through it and I don't even feel like it was real. You know,
that's what I mean. It's like how did sometimes I think I'm like, how the fuck did I agree to be at home and be scared to go get groceries? Like sometimes me and Jackson would be like, let's go together to get groceries because we're bored as fuck. And then be like, oh my god, what if we get pulled over? You know what I mean? But then as it got like more into it, like after the first lockdown, I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Fucking they find me, I'll make up some excuse, it's fine. You know what I mean? Oh, it's ridiculous.
I remember making a Facebook post when it first all kicked off. I want to say this was like February or March, early March of 2020 or something. Maybe 2021. I can't remember when COVID hit. 2020 maybe. And it was 2020. And I remember this post on Facebook was like, all right, we've got this fucking crazy rapid fucking epidemic traveling across the world. Let's just do what they say and just spend 2 weeks inside. If they reckon if we all just shut the fuck up and stay inside for 2 weeks, it'll go away. So I was like, let's just fucking get this done together. And right, I swear I got some good fucking feedback on it. People were like, yeah, fucking I'm with you. Like, people were liking it and shit. I'm just fucking trying to do my part to be part of their good cause. Then all of a sudden, 2 turned into 3. And the 3 turned into 4. 4 turned into 5. I reckon by fucking 6 weeks, I was probably like, this is fucked. This is fucked. Forget my post. You know what I mean? I might have even deleted it.
100%.
Like, fuck this. It's only 6 weeks in. We did it for a year and a half. Fuck off.
So at the beginning, I think it was more like, for me at least, because my dad had gone through like a heart condition then. He has a heart condition, had one for a long time. So I was like, I don't want to get him sick. Like, if I don't follow these rules and shit. But then I was like, you know what, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like still, if I was actually sick, like if I felt the symptoms and stuff, I wouldn't go near him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like the most that I did for it. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't want to make him sick.
We did that too. We had our Christmas party, and I went to the Christmas party, and I think a week before that, someone on the side, or 2 weeks, got COVID, so they didn't come in. Then I went to the Christmas party. I woke up that day. I felt arse. Like I felt fucking so arse.
Yeah.
I went there for about an hour, and then I started to feel really bad. Like one of the worst feelings I've ever felt. And I'm like, oh man, I'm just gonna go home. I was sweating. It was cold.
Yeah.
So I fucking trekked it home. Went straight to sleep. Woke up, told my mom I feel fucking shit. She's like, have this COVID test. I had it, came back positive, and then I'm just like, shit. I just gave it to everyone at the Christmas party.
Did they actually get it?
Everyone in the company got COVID. Everyone in the company got COVID. And then like mum, we were meant to go the next day. It was Christmas to go see my pop. Whole family's like, fuck it, we'll just stay home. Not everyone got positive, but everyone just did the right thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it should have been from the beginning. But then at the same time, it's like, my pop's got his 6th or 7th booster. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if he can't handle it, like, what the fuck's he getting booster for?
I don't know. Like after the first one, even I was like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And then at the end, do you remember they introduced this rule? They were like, if you have a vaccine, you can go places. You
Yeah.
have to show them like your
Yeah.
vaccination thing. I was like, fuck, whatever, I'll get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But then after that, nah.
Yeah. Oh, Kash,
Didn't
I
get the
got
second one.
3.
Didn't get the third one.
I had to get 3 because I couldn't go overseas without the 3rd one.
Oh,
And it didn't even make sense. Like, the first 2 I got were AstraZeneca, and then the last one I got was Pfizer. So it's like, what the? I'm just fucking making a cocktail right now.
yeah,
You know what
just
I mean?
putting red next to the fucking body.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. But it's so you're saying when you get into this policy, you can what's it called? Policy
reform.
Reform.
Yeah.
Then you can start to change things that everyone is a part of,
Yeah, correct.
making a difference.
So it's that kind of, let's think of it from you doing something from the inside. So it's like, yeah, you have to work with governments, etc. But at the same time, if you're respected, if your research is respected, then people will listen to you.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the plan, and then it gets
It
better.
gets bigger than that.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. All right.
But that's why I'm so motivated.
Yeah,
like I just
yeah.
think about the shit every day when I'm like stressed. I'm like, no, it's fine, because we're gonna get there, so it's all
Yeah.
good, you know. And then after that, so that's in a sense making change to help people, even though it may not be directly. It's gonna help people in the future. It's gonna help people that are in prison at that time, you know. So that's one thing. And then eventually, at that point, I want to have my own practice with like other lawyers that I've employed, and we have like a whole thing running so you can make money. And then after that, I want to I haven't decided yet, but either start my own pro bono clinic.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So all that is literally just you come there, you qualify for help, you will get help, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Or then and then eventually I want to start my own charity.
Oh
Like
yeah.
when I'm like fucking 50, whatever, 60,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. As
Yeah.
long as I have the money for it, and like I'm gonna have the passion for it. But
Yeah.
as long as you like set yourself up properly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try start a charity for the main goal would be improving quality of life.
Yeah.
So whether that be through the issues could be different then, but now issues that I can think of is like water sanitation, poverty, access to food.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna
etc.
like try and like keep this nationally, or are you gonna try and go overseas with it?
I would start it.
Because I'm trying to think
nationally.
like nationally, Australia's biggest issues. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I think I'm thinking more internationally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking more internationally. Because when I was 16 in 2017, or 17, I don't know how old I was, but in 2017, I went to this camp in India. It came from like my mosque thing,
Yeah.
but it was to do with, it was basically a charity camp. There's this charity organization called the AKDN. And basically their main goal in life is to improve quality of life. And they do things like they'll restore historical buildings, because that gives people
Wow.
jobs around there.
Yeah.
It makes the monument, like there's more tourism, etc. It makes the economy better. And that's basically what inspired me, because I was like, I went to, and in 2017 I went to India as well. So I went to like Hyderabad, I went to Delhi, and I saw all the work that they were doing. So there's like a monument, I think it's called Qutub Minar, right? It's like a tomb with like a massive building, and the tomb's like inside the building in the middle. And around there is a slum. It's like the most highly populated slum
Wow.
in India.
Wow.
And literally, bro, people, there's like, in this little square, there's like 10 conserving.
What?
It's fucked.
I gotta see this stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll show you photos when I
Yeah.
find them. But like they don't have bathrooms in the houses, so they'll have like public toilets
Wow.
for like so many people.
100,000 cunts. Wow.
Literally. And at first, they didn't even have public toilets.
Oh.
They would just shit on the fucking
On the
street
outside.
and it's just unsanitary. It's fucked. People would get sick. So then AKDN, when they built bathrooms, they built places where women could go do handicrafts and sell them to tourists.
Nice.
So bringing money in, then they built a school that all the kids there could go. And it literally, there's enough kids in this little, like, probably less than, like, Windsor. Like, I don't know how big exactly. Or there's enough kids to fill up a whole primary high school. Primary and high school. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, I saw that work and I was like, oh my God. It's like, and these people were Sunni Muslims and I'm Shia Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they had like a poster of our imam,
Mm-hmm.
like a person that we follow.
Yeah.
They had their poster there.
Yeah.
And that's like really unusual because everyone's like, oh, you're Sunni, I'm Shia. This and
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, they were like so appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And then the restoration that they did to this building gave everyone jobs.
Wow.
So
Damn.
they're able to
Ashley.
get out of that.
Ashley, that's good, Ashley.
I know.
Sorry.
That's
Sorry, it's
okay.
good, Ashley. Sorry. Ashley, I don't know how that came out. Wow. Because she was telling me about India. I was reminding me of it. Yeah.
That's all good. Kash, same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck. So how old were you in 2017 when you went to see that?
2000. Sorry, 2000. I was 16 probably.
16.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
turned 16 at the camp.
Yeah.
So I was like 15/16.
Wow.
Yeah. But I still remember the thing that like started all this motivation for me was in Hyderabad when we went there, they gave us a project to help schools. So you were given your own school and they gave you like a budget.
Yeah.
And they were like, first you got to investigate what the issues are in the school. And then you got to come up with a plan. And the whole thing was that has to be sustainable. So if you come back here in like 10 years, they should be following your shit still.
Yeah.
Right? And the main issues we found were water sanitation.
Yeah.
Like the kids don't know how to wash their hands. They don't have access to clean water.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so sad. Like the saddest thing I've ever seen is that I made really good friends with this like really little girl, right? And they don't have shoes to wear to school. So they'd just like walk around barefoot and shit. And once we arrived at the site and this girl and another girl were fighting. And I'm like, and they were like crying. I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong? Because I know how to speak Hindi, right? So I was like, you know, like what's happening? Why are you guys fighting? And she's like, oh, I haven't eaten in 2 days. And she had a lolly and she didn't give it to me.
Oh.
And I was like,
Oh.
my heart. I was like, oh my God.
It's that level of poverty.
It's that level of poverty.
It's hard for me to understand it. I'm too privileged. Like I don't have the I can't imagine it. I can't imagine
But
it.
I felt very privileged too. I'm like, we are so lucky to live in a country where we have access to these things. Like you have shoes to wear outside, you have a roof over your head, you have food, you're lucky.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? We are so lucky. And when
Yeah.
I saw that, that's when I was like, nah, like I got to do something to try to help people.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
what it's all about. It's like if we just think about ourselves and not about other people, then there is going to be a fuck ton of people in this world that are left with nothing.
Yeah. And that's how you make the world better. It's how it's honestly what we need. We need more people like yourself. We need, and it's all, you have such mad goals and ambitions and dreams. And you know what's super exciting for me listening is I can tell, and I've been noticing this in the last 10 episodes. When I'm sitting down with people, it's like I get the early insight to what it's like to be someone. You know what I mean? Like we're all still very young. When we're 30, 40, 50, 60, we will have already accomplished a lot of things. So a lot of people that I'm fortunate enough to know, like yourself, and my last guest was Sam, and he's going to be a paramedic, and every guest I've had in the past before, everyone's like, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I want to be doing later. And it's like, I can't wait to be 50.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have another podcast with you because I can see the future you're creating. And it's like, if I relate it to Joe Rogan, he's sitting down with all these guests that he's fortunate enough to meet, the people that are doing good things around the world, or people who are in bands, or people who are fighters, or whatever they are. And I'm like, how awesome is this that he has the accessibility to all these people? But I'm realizing now, I have just as much access to all these people as well because I already know them.
Yeah.
Everyone I know is going to be someone incredible.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like we have this network of people around us. It's so awesome. I can't wait to grow old with everyone.
100%. And that's why I love our group as well. It's because you meet a lot of people that are just like superficial, artificial, they don't care about this and that. But it seems like to me that everyone cares about something.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important because if everyone stops caring about other people and they're just selfish, then how is the world going to become a better place?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you have to do something.
And even if people aren't yet seeing a future of helping others, if they work on themselves, so like if they just like save their money or invest it in the right things or don't even like, save up for a house, if they just spend all their money on themselves in a way that makes, even if they just want to be an Instagram model, right?
Yeah.
For example, if one of the lads is like, fuck it, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And he goes and gets a job and he works hard and makes $1,000 to $2,000 a week. And then he invests it all in anything from veneers to haircuts to gym to clothes to whatever, and then gets mad cameras, posts about it, grows a big internet platform, gets successful. Then he can start being like, what can I do with this money?
Exactly.
Maybe I can help other people become successful in Instagram, or maybe I can invest in charities or churches or whatever.
It's about influence, how much influence you have.
It's all about
people.
influence. It's awesome, and I'm so excited for life. Like
Me too.
And it's not just for me anymore. I was excited about life because I can't wait to become the sickest cunt ever.
Yeah.
But now it's like we're all gonna be the sickest cunts together.
100%. And it's like the goals you have for yourself. Everyone has goals for themselves. You want to buy a house, you want to save money, build a business, make money, etc. But that's like here, right? This is your little circle. Yeah. But the world is like here.
Much bigger.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like one day you will be able to do something that makes a mark.
Yeah,
you
You gotta change. You don't have to. I understand when people don't have the mindset, but I'm with you where I want to leave an imprint.
Yeah.
I want to do something that changes the world. For me, I've been working on it more and more and more, and I want to be a spokesperson for our industry, for the young people. I'd love to have an organization that helps grab kids that are on two different paths at the same time, like myself. I could have easily become a useless cunt, or I could have easily become successful. And I've had many different opportunities in my life where I can look back and I can see the two different clear paths.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough to always have one foot on the successful path of just commitment.
Yeah.
Even though I've trickled into the other side a little bit, you know? It's like I'm running on
Everyone
both
does
lines.
that. It's
I'm
part of
running,
life.
yeah. I'm running on both. But I could see how easily it would have been for me to just fucking fall off and then just run down that path.
Yeah.
So many times. So I'd love to be that person that employers or TAFE teachers or anyone could send them to me, and then even if we just have a chat, or he calls me up and he's just like, yo, I've been sent to you, blah, blah. I meet up with this kid and I'm like, yo, you can fucking do whatever you want. Like, I'm talking fucking if you want to go fucking rob a bank, bro, just go rob a bank. Whatever you want to do, but just commit to work.
Yeah.
Just commit to learning, commit to education. If you want to go out on the weekend and you want to jump on M, go to the city with your mates, or you want to go to a festival and double dunk acid with a candy flip, whatever you want to do, like, have all your habits, have all your hobbies, have everything you want, do everything, but just commit to working, commit to education,
100%.
commit to bettering yourself.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, you're able to have fun and experience life, but at the same time, you can also progress. And then all of a sudden, the fun starts to become the progression. And all of a sudden, instead of becoming addicted to the weekends where you're going out and you're getting on it, you're becoming addicted to the weekends where you're going to the gym, where you're reading more books, and you've got the same feeling
like
of fulfillment.
It's
exactly
do you know
like
what
me.
I mean? Like all the stuff that you're doing, it's like, this is really fulfilling to me.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's really good. And I'm not saying that everyone has to have a grand vision of helping the whole world like I do, but even if you make a difference on your fucking neighbor or your friend or like your workmate, anyone, it still is making a difference.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
You're still putting parts of yourself out there that are influencing or helping other people become better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. Like with your whole spokesperson thing. Even if you speak to 100 people and only 10 listen, you've done something.
Yeah. Even if one kid.
Even if one listens,
And part of it, it's hard to work it out because I do think about it a lot. it kind of comes from a place of ego, because it's like, I want to be that person for that kid. Because say there was two options. Say this kid could go to someone else to get put on the straight and narrow, or come to me to get put on the straight and narrow. I still want him to come to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's all egotistical or not, but it's also the fact that when I think about the person I could have become, I feel bad for that person. You know what I mean? Like, I feel so privileged to have just, it's complete luck. It's fortunate that I was able to go to work every day. For some reason, there was that voice telling me to do it. And I feel bad for the version of me that didn't, even though he doesn't exist. My heart breaks for that kid. Like, I'm like, fuck, man, you missed out. You're a loser, you know? Feel bad for him, but he's not even real.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see that happen to someone else. So it's kind of egotistical, but it's kind of selflessness as well. So I don't know, it's cool. I'm glad that you share something with me that I can relate with, that you really do want to make an impact and you want to be able to help people.
Yeah. And that's what keeps, honestly, it sounds cheesy, but that's what keeps you going every day, because you're like, you know, like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Even if the whole thing doesn't happen, it's still my dream, and hopefully as long as I do everything I can to work towards it, I know that I've done what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like, that's your dream.
Yeah.
So always hold on to it.
Yeah.
And in order to reach your dream, you have to focus on yourself.
Yes.
Which is so motivating. Because working on yourself, I feel like it's a bit unmotivating, you know? Sometimes you don't want to. You're like, I won't go to the gym today. Like,
I get you.
fucking give me some Krispy Kreme donuts, you know?
But you know, it's a part of a bigger thing.
Yeah. So it's cool. I love working on myself. Working on myself, it helps other people too, because you can be an example for people, even if you're not helping, as you said, like the whole world. Even as being a good friend for someone, you know, by being the best version of yourself, you can inspire people. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Like, how good does it feel when one of your mates is, not that they're going through a hard time, that's not the good thing, but when they come to you.
Sucked in, you little bitch. Yeah.
But when they come to you, because they have faith that you will help them, or that you might say something that'll make them feel better. How good of a feeling is
Best
that
feeling
as well?
in the world. Best feeling in the world.
It's like, oh, I can be there for someone. This is awesome.
All of a sudden, a bit more pressure. You're like, oh, shit. Yeah, I'm going to say the right thing, but it's best feeling. Yeah.
But there's definitely a line with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you get too invested, and from experience, if you get too invested in somebody's shit, it's like, and they don't listen,
yeah, that's hard.
Your mental health gets fucked up.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like, I read this post the other day that was like, when you have to go to therapy to deal with someone who should go to therapy but doesn't go to therapy.
That's jokes.
It's so true. It's like,
true,
you can't take that burden on yourself. Like, sometimes it's inevitable if it's someone that you really, really care about. But sometimes, like, it might even take a couple of years, and it did for me to realize that, look, if this person's not going to want to help themselves, then nothing I say is going to help them.
Yeah.
Like,
that's such a hard one for me, that, dude. It's so hard. I'm always battling with that. There's some people that just don't want to listen, and even if they do want to listen, that it's not doing it, like, you know what I mean? And it's just a concrete evidence that your way isn't the right way, you know? My way of doing things worked for me. It might not work for this person. I might just have to let them do it on their own, but I can be there if they need me. You know, which is important as well.
100%. You be there when they need you, but at the same time, if you get too invested in it and you think that, I'm telling them to do this and that and they won't do it, or like they just keep doing the same shit that they're telling me makes them unhappy, then it gets to a point that it's like, what can I actually do?
Yeah.
You know? And it's frustrating because it's like, I really want to do something.
Yeah.
But don't know what.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Please go to therapy.
Yeah, I know.
Go to the gym, please.
Do something. Yeah.
Straight up.
Help
like,
me.
just one thing, bro.
I'm suffering. Help yourself. I'm suffering. Yeah.
Like, help me help you, please.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, Kash. It's fucking. I love it. You've lifted my day already. I love hearing that you want to help the world.
Thank
I love hearing it. I can see you doing it. That's what's important too. It's not just like empty dreams that are just left on the pillow. I see them. I can see the fulfillment. I can see us having a podcast in 50 years time, just being like, look what we both did, you know? Yeah, we've done so well.
100%.
Yeah, it's an exciting part of my life at the moment, and it's just realizing how fortunate I am to know amazing people. I've always known it, but I'm really fucking starting to realize it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nah,
cool.
100% agree. And dude, your podcast's gonna do big things. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Even just for like the boys, as you first said, that it was for the boys to try to get to know each other. Sometimes we go to parties and people might come up to Jackson, or like Danny's a good example. You'd be like, because Danny's not like, we don't talk to him a lot,
Yeah.
right? But then you're like, oh my god, I watched your podcast. You did this and that. Fuck, good
Yeah.
on you,
Yeah.
And it's like it boosts their self-esteem and their
Yeah.
confidence, and it's
Yeah.
like, that's awesome.
I love that's my favorite part. My
Yeah.
favorite thing is like listening to two people discuss their podcast with each
Yeah.
other. It happens to me like
I saw this
quite
on your
often.
podcast.
Yeah. Like Fossey, he met Adam. Adam was our fight trainer from Glenwood growing up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
This Turkish lad, and he's an inspiration to me. He's a role model. He's an older brother, and I don't get to speak to him very often. But he came over and did the pod, and then Fossey did our pod. So then Ryan wanted to get into hunting and things like that and
Yeah.
shooting. So I'm like, oh, Adam's the guy. We got to go see Adam. So
Yeah.
we went over there, and first Adam's talking to me. I'm like, got to be honest with you, bro. I'm not really that excited. I couldn't give a fuck about hunting, shooting, all these things.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to shoot guns.
Yeah.
I don't like getting
What am I
dirty.
doing?
Like, I like to have a shower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I came here for Fossey. So then I just heard them both say, oh, I noticed that in your podcast you discuss this. And then Adam goes to Fossey, well, in your podcast I've seen you discuss this. I'm just thinking back, oh, what is happening? Like, I'm just
Working.
like, I just felt like, oh, thank you both for watching. You know what I mean? That's all I cared about.
100%.
I'm like, wow, an extra couple of views. That's dope. Yeah. Nah, that's what I see it as. That's the best part of it.
100%.
Yeah.
So when you get views on your videos, right? Say if I watch something twice, is that 2 views? 1?
Yeah, that would be 2 views. Yeah.
Okay.
And anytime anyone will click on it, it will count as a view.
I then have to watch the whole
You
thing.
don't have to watch the whole thing. It'll show me analytics, which I'm not too fussed about, but there's certain things that I am curious about. So when you click on your analytics, it'll tell you what the average watch time per video will be. So for an hour to 2 hour long podcast, the average watch time is usually about 10% for podcasting.
Okay.
Especially for a podcast like mine that isn't as high quality sound and camera and lighting, and the
It's not like
guests aren't
celebrities, yeah.
like fucking, the Prime Minister
Theo
or
Von.
fucking Theo Von or someone, Yeah.
I love Theo
the
Von.
champ, yeah. The Rat King. So it'll show me like 10 to 20 minutes will usually be an average watch time, but then there's a bunch of other things. It'll show me like when people start to lose interest. It might be at 30 minutes because the average drive to work is 33 minutes or things like that. They just start to show me things like that.
yeah.
But then it'll show me when people clicked back on to when they stopped. It might be lunch break or whatever. It's cool.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. But then I'm curious about watch time. So it'll show me like total views and then total watch time per hour. And I can't remember what it was recently, but I think I'm up to like almost like 60 days of total watch time, which is like, that means everyone's accumulated hours of equivalent to 60 days of watch time,
Wow.
which is one thing that I'm really focusing on.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to have one day more watch time than I've been alive. I love that. Then I'll really feel like I've made a difference and
Ooh.
I've left something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's making a mark.
Yeah, that's
But
how
it
I
will
make
get
my
there
mark.
because of your consistency.
Yeah.
Whenever you're consistent at something, you will reach your goal.
Thank you.
Like,
I
that's
believe
it.
so too. I definitely believe so too.
I'm so proud of you for this podcast. But I
Thank
think
you.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That's
It's
it.
fun, eh? It's fun.
It's so fun. It's
Yeah.
great. The beginning, I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
Like even last night to Jackson, I was like, are you sure you don't need to prepare anything?
Yeah, nah.
He's like, just don't stress. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
okay.
Just don't stress. Even if you stress, I feel like anyone who does come on and stress, you just get over it. Like, it's my job to make you feel comfortable. If you're stressing 10 minutes, 15 minutes in, I fucked up somehow. You know what I mean?
I get you. I get you. It's
Yeah.
like, obviously, the intro is a bit like there's someone talking about you. You know?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, this is real. It's about to start. It's happening. But then it's fine.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting better at the intros too. I feel like in the beginning it was very like just joke orientated, but I try and say something now that I really mean.
Yeah.
Which is why I really was going to say, as I said in the intro, that my first female that isn't family, because I forgot about
Yeah.
Beth.
Yeah.
Forgot. I just slowly adjust it, and then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, Kash, you are family. You are family.
Thank you.
I do genuinely mean it. Yeah. And then I was like, fuck, last name. Damn it. Yeah. Yeah. So.
No, it's funny, but like, be honest. When you first met me, was it hard to say my name?
Kashish?
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
It's
I
all throughout school?
I believe I can kind of not speak Indian accent, but like I understand it very well. It's
Yeah,
easy for me to roll R's and D's and put
Yeah.
things together. Yeah.
It's not hard. It's spelled fucking Kashish.
Yeah.
Kashish.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So all throughout school, all the teachers would be like, Kashish. And I would get
Kashish.
so pissed off. I'd be like, oh
Kashish.
my god, just don't call my name. Just don't do it. Don't even
Yeah.
worry. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
funny.
all right, Cash. What we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
is deep questions.
Okay.
It's my favorite segment.
I'm ready. Okay.
The first question was, which I've already skipped it, was when was the last time you met someone who became a close friend?
You go first.
Okay. I would say for me, the last time was the guy I'm working with now, Greg. We've been working together for, I want to say 8 weeks now, 8 going on 9 weeks maybe. It's together every day. We live in the same house. We work in the same room. We eat lunch together. We eat dinner together. We're always next to each other, and we got close pretty much straight away. I find it I'm very fortunate where I can become close with people very easily. Where it's at the stage where this week we're just opening up to each other about parents and issues and fears and experiences and just over lunch, and it's almost like, how did we get here,
Yeah, I get you.
You're a stranger, what I mean? I don't even know your last
sweet,
name
bud.
properly.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, most of my close friends are people I've known for a long time.
Yeah.
So, someone I became closer to, maybe you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Nice.
since you and Jackson started hanging out. So,
Yeah.
like regularly. So, yeah, no, that was good. Remember all those conversations you used to have and the
I miss coming over. I full miss coming over.
You should
Yeah.
come over whenever you want.
Yeah. I try to sometimes on the weekends. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just be passing through and I'll call and you guys will be doing something, and then same vice versa.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that we really put in effort to do
Yeah,
more.
100%.
Because I love coming over. I love coming
I
over.
love it when you
Some of
come
my
up
best
too.
chats.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Nice. Good answer.
Thank you.
Good answer. Feel privileged with that one. The next one is, what are 2 things that give you peace of mind? So they might just be things that you like doing for yourself, or things that make you feel just better about your day, something that you like to do.
Peace
2
of mind.
things.
Okay. In the day, if I've accomplished whatever I've written down for the day, it makes me feel at peace.
And what's the best thing? What's your favorite thing to cross off?
Like the chunkier tasks
Yeah, okay.
and the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like as a subset of that, what makes me at peace is knowing that if I haven't put too much on my list to do, because sometimes I put
Yeah.
way too much and I know I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah, nice.
So I know that if I've like really thought it out, like this is what I'm going to do, then yeah.
That's me today.
Yeah.
My day today is so big that I actually started to write them in Sunday because I knew I wouldn't be able to get them all done.
Sometimes I just go Saturday / Sunday.
yeah.
So that's one
Exactly
thing.
right.
And the second thing on like a more emotional level is knowing that my friends and family are okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. They're good ones. I like them.
Thank
All right, I'll change it up a little bit then because I like the
Okay.
I like the task ticking one. I was
Yeah.
probably going to say that one. But one thing I like doing recently is it's in my challenge too. I forgot to mention before. Every day I have to have a cold shower. It sucks. It is so hard.
Like as soon as you wake up, or
No, I do it before I go to work or after gym.
Yeah.
So last night I had to do it at 10 o'clock at night.
oh my god,
Yeah, I
it's like
know.
winter.
Yeah, 10:30 even, I think
Yeah.
it was. I come back from the gym, I'm like, damn it. So I wake up, I get into the bathroom, I just turn it on, I just get straight in, and especially in Canberra, I've been working in Canberra, it's fucking cold.
Cold, yeah.
And it's like, I just sit there, and I try and like rub myself, come on, motherfucker. And then I get out, and like me and Greg, we've been telling each other, like, we got to start pushing each other to be a bit better as people as well outside of work. So we're pushing each other to drink more water, pushing each other to, cold shower's one of them too. So it's like, we suck each other up. It's like, who's going first? It's like, I'll go first. And then you get in there, and you just suck it.
Shiver.
Yeah, and then you get out, and then I come out every time, like, light work, easy. I'm like, you go. It's like, damn it. And then he gets in there, and then I literally hear coming from the shower, oh, fuck. I hear it every day. Fuck. I've been there for like a minute.
Oh my god.
And then it's like, say he's going first, and then it's me, and then I've got my fucking gear, and I'm like walking to the bathroom. I'm like, it's the walk of death. It's the Valley of Death. It's cool, but that
But it
always.
makes you feel at peace
Oh,
afterwards.
always. Every time. Like, we get into the shower, or get into the shower together. We don't get into the shower together.
That's cute.
Every day. Some days we do. Not every day. But, like, we get into the elevator because we're staying in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we both, like, I look at him, he's looking at me, and we're both just like, feel alive, you know? Like, I've been awake for fucking, pretty much a full day already. He's been awake for fucking most of the day already.
Yeah.
We're both like, I'm good. Let's go to work. You know what I mean? Like, I feel good. Like, it's, I don't know. I love a cold shower. So it's torture, but afterwards I feel good. And it will never, ever get easier too. I'm not looking forward to today's cold shower.
Sorry,
So,
you got this.
Yeah,
You got this.
I got this. So that's one thing. Another thing that gives me peace of mind, I would say, I do enjoy, I say reading would be another thing too, because I never want to do it. It's the same thing. It's always like, it's on my list, got to get it done.
Yeah.
But every day especially when I get to about 8 pages out of 20 and I'm like, come on, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
How much longer can this take?
Yeah, this is bullshit. But I started this new thing where I'll tell myself, like, especially when you don't want to read, you just feel like you're not even taking it in.
Yeah.
But now I tell myself, like, imagine if I had to read this in front of someone. Imagine if I opened this book and then someone else was just like, can you read me what you want to read today? So then I'll read it a bit faster, and so I sound like I'm not as illiterate as I am, but it's all in my head. But then I'll really exaggerate the words, you know what I mean? Just say the sentence was like, she went to the shops and she finally bought her dress. I'll read it in my head like, she went to the shops and she finally bought her dress. You know what I mean? Like, I'll read it to myself like a narrator.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it helps me. Now I've been doing that, and I'm like, I'm taking in the full fucking story. I'm like, fuck. And then I get to
Makes it
page
more
20, and I'm like, damn it. You know what I mean? Damn it. Shove my bookmark in. Fuck. I'll wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I'd say reading's giving me peace of mind. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Nice. All right. Good. Good couple of answers. I liked it. Here's a weird one. If you were an animal with the same intelligence that you have now, what animal would you be? Damn, what animal would I be? Maybe let's just forget about the whole intelligence thing. You can incorporate that if you want to. But what animal would you like to be if you were an animal?
A monkey.
A monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because they're just so fun.
Yeah.
They're just like
Yeah.
so like.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean? But as
They
we said, there's
are.
monkeys dancing in my head, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I love to be a monkey.
A
They're just so
monkey.
like wholesome.
That would be fun, eh? I'd like to be
Yeah.
a monkey too. It's so active, like jumping from trees and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
And they're delinquents.
Yeah, they are
They
delinquents.
just like steal shit. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. When I went to Bali, though, we went to the monkey sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like they explained to us there's actually 2 tribes of monkeys that live inside this monkey sanctuary, and there
Yeah.
might be like thousands of monkeys,
Yeah.
but there's 2 different clans. There's north and south. So then, like, they're constantly at war with each other. Like, they'll come take over part, and then
Yeah.
they'll take over part. And they, it's almost like Mother Nature's breeding them at the same levels, so they don't have too many. But sometimes too many that are breeding will have the better advantage of land.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst advantage. So then it's almost like evens each other out. So then when they might take over more, then they'll start breeding more to make over. And they're constantly fighting. And when we were there, we seen 2 of these clans come together and have
No
a fight.
way.
And they were fucking bashing each other. These monkeys, it was
It's like
sick.
the Chimp documentary.
It was exactly like the Chimp documentary, yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Great
awesome.
documentary too,
Oh,
eh?
that's so good.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put a
Everyone
link in the
watch it.
description. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
awesome.
Aw.
And you know what was awesome? The alpha chimp, Jackson. Yeah. Yeah.
I was so invested in all the like characters.
Yeah, I
You know,
know.
the actual chimps. But
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, and the lonely one. The lonely one was so sad. Gus.
Gus, yeah, yeah.
It just made me so sad.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was that chimp that got bashed to death too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was. They like kind of showed it, but they didn't.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
this is when it happened, but they didn't show the actual.
Yeah, they
thing.
just said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And it was crazy because I think Jackson showed me a video on the guy who directed that, and he was like, they were standing like literally
Yeah.
right next to the fucking
Oh,
fight.
it's crazy. One of the best
That's
documentaries ever.
crazy.
If everyone
Yeah.
listening who doesn't know, Netflix did this documentary series where I think they stood next to these chimps in the Amazon rainforest for like excuse
Bless
me,
you.
for like 20 years or something, like 20,
Yeah.
30 years. They just adapted themselves into their environment so the chimps felt comfortable. And then once they were comfortable enough to live their normal lives, they were able to film a perfect
Yeah.
documentary.
Because apparently, even when they're fighting and stuff, they wouldn't hurt the humans because they
Yeah.
know that the humans aren't like they shouldn't be touched.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is
Like,
crazy.
imagine if you just went out into the forest and saw fucking chimp and you're killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, it'd be
Amazing.
scary too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I hope they got paid well, those cameramen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would.
Yeah.
You'd hope to.
Yeah. But yeah, they could be within 5 feet of these chimps.
Wild.
Even when they're at war.
Babby should him up.
Yeah, I know. So I'll put a link in the description. Awesome show. But if I was to be an animal, I'd say I'd probably like to be a bear. Bears are pretty cool. Bears get to just like cruise around, just like even the non-carnivorous ones like polar bears, like say like a black bear or something. Like they're just comfortable, you know.
They
I feel
got
like they'd
thighs
be
too.
so cozy. Yeah, or panda would be awesome.
Yeah.
Pandas are just dumb as fuck, you know what I
Cute
mean?
as well,
Yeah. I love watching panda videos on YouTube of them just falling over and shit. Like, he'll go to get on a swing set and he'll just swing once and he'll just crumble onto his head. I love watching that shit. Yeah, maybe a panda. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I was originally thinking like a great white shark or like an orca.
Yeah.
Orca would be dope. But I don't know if
Those
the
are
ocean
cute.
would be for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I'd be a panda. Nice. Cool.
Awesome.
All right, we'll find another good one. What do you consider to be success and what motivates you to achieve it? So we've already touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to hear your explanation. But what do you think it is?
Success could be a daily thing. It could be like, okay, I've done what I need to do today to work towards my dream, right? Success could be being in a position where you're comfortable financially, emotionally, mentally, you know. And then I guess ultimate success was like the dream that I was talking about. That would be like crazy success. But even success in relationships, like building something from the ground up and having that trust, having that faith in each other kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I like the
Yeah.
answer. Cool.
Yeah.
And what again? What motivates? What's your biggest motivation for success?
Is to, because I would consider myself not to be a selfish person. Like I'm pretty selfless. So anything that I can make an impact on, or anyone that I can make an impact on, I would consider that.
Yeah, nice. Good answer. I wish I could steal it, but you've already said it. If I was to say what I consider to be success is very, very similar. I think that just accomplishing anything that took effort. I think trying is what, because one question I've had before is what is greatness, and I think success is the same as greatness. Success is making an effort towards something. You know, it might just be, as you said, daily little tasks. That's successful. You know, you've done your part. You've done what needs to get done. So any accomplishment, and I think what motivates you to an accomplishment could be just curiosity is one thing that definitely motivates a lot of people, especially myself. I wonder what it would be like to be rich. I wonder what it would be like to be happy. I wonder what it would be like to be in a longevity relationship. You know, curiosity is probably what motivates me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Usually
Because
curiosity.
if you're not curious about something, you're not going to want to achieve it.
Yeah. It's like seeing the world, you know. I'm curious what the world has. That's motivating. Yeah.
Like, do you want to travel?
100% I want to
Yeah,
travel. 100%.
100%.
Big holidays coming this year.
Yes.
Big holidays. I will cut this bit out because not all of it I can say on the podcast, but I'll tell you.
Yeah. I was working at the Pokies like a couple of weeks ago, and this guy won like 23 grand or something, and then he won another 4 grand,
What?
and he gave us all money, right?
Yeah, nice.
Like came up to every single one of us and he's like, here's for you, this is for you, this is for you. I'm like, oh, that's so
Wow.
nice. And then we're like, you know, what are you gonna do? Like, that's awesome. He's like, because he's like, I think at retirement age. So he's like, oh, me and my wife have planned a holiday around the world. It's gonna cost like 120 grand.
Wow.
So this takes 20 grand off it.
Oh,
and I was
nice.
like, dude, good on you.
Yeah.
Like, go see the world. You know,
Yeah.
have fun. Fuck yeah.
120 grand holiday, that's so dope.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing trip.
But I mean, if you're retired, dude, and that's like you've saved that up and you deserve it.
Yeah.
Like, go, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I get inheritance, but it's like at the same time, I also like, I get it. I really do get it. But my grandparents set a good example where it's like I would prefer if they spent all the money that they've earned. I would prefer it more than anything.
100%.
I don't want any of the money. I'd rather they spend it.
That's what I tell my dad all the time. He's like, I'm gonna leave this for you, leave that for you. I'm like, doesn't matter, bro. Like, I'm gonna make my own money. It's all good.
Yeah.
You could enjoy life, do whatever you want, buy
Yeah.
whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Like, I get it if there's, like, say someone has multiple properties and a bunch of money, like, one house is enough. Even if you split it between multiple kids, you know what I mean? Like, that's plenty.
Oh,
what
yeah.
more could you need? You know?
Yeah. Because it's not like we're gonna sit on our ass and do nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I
it's
just love
extra.
seeing them spend it.
Yeah,
I love seeing them
exactly.
spend it.
It's like,
Because they
please
worked.
enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Because that's what I say to everyone. I'm like, when you die, you're not going to take your money to the grave, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you've raised your family to be like strong, they're going to go do their own thing. They're going to go make money. They're going to be successful. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Good answers to those questions.
Yeah.
I liked it. All right. Find another good one. Hard one to answer. I'm not sure, so I'll let you try and answer it first if you can. But when do you feel the most free?
I'd say sometimes when I'm alone. Like, for example, as I said, I started working when I was 13. So I've always been very independent. And when I moved out of home, obviously it's a struggle because I moved out at 17. So you're not going to have a fuck ton of money. You're not going to be comfortable, right? But it's like making yourself
You were
uncomfortable.
17?
I was 17 when I moved out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've known you for a minute.
Exactly. Because you knew me then as well. And I think
Yeah.
you knew me before that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I met you through Sahil, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So that in itself, independence is when I felt free. Because it's like,
Independence.
yeah, when I don't have to rely on anyone, anything. Even now, like, yes, I have a very loving family, a very loving boyfriend, and they're always like spoiling me and etc. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I pay my own bills, I take care of my own shit, I do my own studying, you know what I mean? No
Yeah.
one's like forcing me to do it, no one's telling me to do it. So I guess when I'm independent is when I feel the most free.
Yeah, nice. And you're a boss bitch, Kash. You're a boss
thank
bitch.
you.
You are. You
Thank
set a great example for women, especially like because you're a hard worker. You study immensely. Like you kill it in your exams by the sounds of it. You do very well. And there's no excuses. You never have excuses. You do what needs to get done. And you go to the gym and you fucking... Jesus Christ. You've had your cooking. It's banging. And it's mad. You do well, Kashish. You do very, very well. You set a great example.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Nice.
But at the same time, I've always had my family to lean back on if I'm ever going through a hard time or anything. Even just financially, they're always there to help me.
Nice.
So, but at the same
Very
time...
humbling of you to say that, but it doesn't take away what I'm trying to say, all right? I get what you're doing. I know what you're doing. It's all about you, though. Fuck them.
Yes, independent boss.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't need anyone. Yeah.
That's the one. That's
Fuck
the
the world.
mentality.
I'd say I feel the most free with, speaking on what you said, if it was going to go nostalgically, like prehistoric, getting my license was a good feeling.
Yeah.
Getting my license. Because I moved out of home once and I didn't feel that free. I moved out of... I don't know. It was very odd. I had roommates that were good people, but like, I don't know, I didn't feel free because I was trying to be respectful.
I get you.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't a free feeling.
Yeah.
I'd say getting my license was a great feeling. Getting my apprenticeship, like starting to work, leaving school, I felt free leaving school. But then even then, like, you're constricted to your boss's implications, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
I was
you.
waking up at 4 a.m, catching the bus, like, get fucked. So driving was definitely a good one. And for now, for today, I'd say running's very freeing too.
Yeah.
Running makes me... I have good ideas when I'm running. Like, because like I usually can't be fucked. Say I got 30 minutes to do it. Within like the first 10, it's like, I'm always battling the urge where it's like, do I even continue this or do I just
really
give
can't be
up?
fucked. Yeah.
But then I realize like I'm going to have to start again. Like, if I stop now, I'm going to have to come back in like half an hour or an hour. I haven't got that much time today. So, but then when I'm in the moment, when I get past like 12 minutes, 15 minutes, I'm halfway there, then it's like, that's ain't too bad, you know what I mean? Like, and then it's just like, let's just see what my fucking brain will come up with. And I feel free. I'm figuring things out. I'm remembering to message people. Like, feels amazing.
But that's why they say cardio helps with mental health, because when you're doing cardio and that intense cardio, you're focusing on your breath.
Yeah.
Like, you're not thinking about what's going on in life. Like, it takes you away from all of it because you're
Yeah.
like, and that is a feeling of feeling free. Like,
It's meditation.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like there's
yeah.
nothing clogging my brain right now.
Yeah. And it sounds weird, like, because you're under so much mental strain
Yeah.
when you're doing cardio.
Yeah.
But you full zone out.
Yeah.
It's like you restart.
It's like that's your only God in the moment. It's like, I gotta run this 10 minutes, another
Yeah.
5 minutes, you know, like, we just gotta do this. And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Nice. Good answers. I like them. Great. We'll do a couple more.
Before we move on, I want to add something onto the freedom question.
Yeah.
I did this study on Rousseau. He's like a philosopher who basically came up with the social contract, right? So when people defy things that are made up by society, or they rebel against like the general morals of society, it's called getting out of the social contract.
Yeah.
Because it's like, when you are born into this life, you've already entered the social contract.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, I'm not going to kill anyone because that's like not something that people do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why some people do feel free when they rebel against something.
Ah, wow. I never thought about
It's like the
that.
shackles of society.
Yeah, because there is a lot of, like, I think the social contract is something that I often do think about too, and it's just, it can be as terms as like when you're a man meeting another man, you shake firm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a social
Yeah,
contract.
it's like something created by society.
Yeah.
No, like, nothing in the universe is telling you that you have to do this, but it's like, it's man-made, you know, like, we
Yeah.
made these things up.
Yeah. It might even be as like, I guess like the free the nipple movement, I guess, was
Yeah.
a big part of it, eh?
Yeah.
I guess that's why it was so freeing, because that's kind of going against the social contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all stems from what I think it was Aristotle, I could be wrong. Or Hobbes, yeah. He had a very like pessimistic view about the world. He was like, the reason that we're put on this earth is to compete against each other. Because unless you're born with some sort of like disability or defect, we're all born as equal. And the whole thing about life is trying to be better than the other person.
Yeah.
And that's what motivates us.
It's kind
it's
of
kind
true.
of twisted,
Yeah.
but and then that's what the social contract came from. Because it's like,
Yeah.
we can't always just fight against each other.
Yeah.
Because you have to live together at some point.
Yeah, we have to be in
this is-
harmony.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did you have this knowledge of philosophy? Where did you get that from?
So in your uni course, they make you do a people unit, which
Yeah.
is philosophy.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's like compulsory to do it.
Yeah.
But you get to write like essays on it. It's cool.
That
And
is
that's
cool.
like the fun part of it. Because it's like so much easier than law.
Yeah.
Be like, I
bet.
can just write my opinion and then get good marks on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I love philosophy. I want to do a deep dive into Hobbes, Socrates, Plato, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Astrolodes. What's his name? Aristotle. Aristotle.
Yeah. And you realize once you start to read these things that all of their ideas stem off each other.
Yeah. Well, they were basically apprentices of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it all just developed from like the French Revolution. Like the social contract developed from the French Revolution.
Oh, wow.
It was because of whatever was going on back then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
always just keeps developing.
Yeah.
Like even those are the famous historical philosophers we know about, but how many philosophers is there in
modern
our world?
day.
Do you know what
Oh
I mean?
My
Like
gosh, there's
it's,
plenty of them
it's
now.
crazy. Yeah.
Jordan Peterson's my favorite one.
Yeah.
He's my favorite one.
is that the
Yeah.
guy who wrote the 12 Rules of Life?
Yeah. And even philosophers, like, they're kind of like, you can consider Jesus Christ and Buddha, and you consider all these people to be philosophers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're interpreting the meaning of life. So
Yeah. Nice. Good answer.
Thank
I
you.
like it. I like how you just took a little dive into philosophy with that. Very well educated answer.
thank you.
Nice. All right. I want to do 2 more of these questions.
Okay, done. This is awesome.
What's the biggest question that you have about the future?
Honestly, like, what's gonna happen to the world? Like
The
in
world.
terms of environment and stuff. Because like now they're talking a lot about. I read something the other day that was just like, it's not global warming anymore. It's global boiling.
Yeah.
It's like because literally we've had the hottest July ever recorded in history, like as a global scale.
Yeah.
And like all these things that Jackson tells me about, like the Younger Dryas and
Impact,
how all
yeah.
like the Ice Age and etc. and how all those events happened in. I think it was a podcast I watched. I don't know what one, but all these events happen in religious stories.
Yeah.
Like, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, that was
how-
from the show Ancient Apocalypse.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I watched that. Yeah, and there's this other guy on Flagrant.
Yeah, that was Graham Hancock. He was the guy who
him.
produced
Yeah.
it.
So based on all that, my biggest question is like, because people say this won't happen in our generation, but if it does,
Yeah.
Like, what
I
if
know.
the world just fucking goes to shit and everything melts and like the Antarctic melts and then we're fucked?
Yeah, I know.
It's
I
like, how
know.
far is it actually? You know,
Yeah.
that's my biggest question.
Like, how far is like a catastrophic event
Yeah.
from happening?
Yeah, because that wipes out everything. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, what we don't matter. Like,
Yeah, I
you
know. We actually don't matter
Yeah.
at all. And in terms of like just geographic, we make no difference to what the universe wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that. If a volcano erupted, like that could change the world.
Yeah.
Like, don't like forget about what we could do. Nuke it. We could
Yeah.
fucking pollute the ozone layer. We could
But
do all
what
these
can
things.
naturally happen that's the end of the
Yeah,
world. You know
an
what I mean?
asteroid will impact. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Anything could happen.
if the moon got hit by a big enough asteroid, then it would shake the whole world. It would
Yeah.
throw our tides out of place. It would raise the sea levels. It would
Exactly. And we have tsunamis everywhere.
throw us
like-
off course, and we could become too close to the sun. You know,
Yeah.
like it
And
could
then
do
we could just
anything.
burn,
There's
like-
things that we have no control
Yeah,
over.
exactly. So I really do wonder about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you say it's gonna happen in like thousands of years, but what if it's not? What if it's closer than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we are fortunate enough as humans to have people like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
We are fortunate enough to have people who want to, and it's not even for our sake. It's for sake of human
Mm-hmm.
to take over other planets, to spread out and take over the universe. Have space stations with economies and fucking just all these different ways of growing agriculture and all these things that we don't
Yeah.
have to be limited to Earth.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
We
That's
love
true.
Earth. Earth is
Yeah.
our home. It's our birthplace, but
But it's not gonna exist forever.
it's not going to be here
No.
forever. Yeah. So we got to just expand. We got to
Yeah.
take over the universe.
We gotta find the next thing before this gets like shit. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like how they always say the first million's the hardest to make, and then it's like it's easy to make the next million.
Yeah.
I feel like once we are able to take over one planet,
Yeah.
the next planet will be easier.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, you know, we'll be taking over 100 planets a day.
Yeah.
Humans will be so incredible.
Because we're so developed. But I also do wonder, was there a generation before us? Maybe not directly before us, but like way back. That's way smarter than us.
They reckon so.
And then
Yeah.
what the ancient civilization.
Yeah.
And then we had to, you know, like maybe we're just trying to get there again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what. There's a cycle, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah,
You
yeah.
never know.
Yeah, they do reckon that we've had intelligent forms of human
Yeah.
existence before our recollection of
Yeah.
it. It's Graham Hancock says, we are a species that suffers amnesia, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
we just forget
Yeah.
everything we once knew. And then a natural disaster will take place, and then we'll start again.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because then you can also think that how much more developed can we actually become?
Well, what I think is insane, and I've been thinking about this too, is that if I'm only 25 years this year, this is my total existence is only 25 years, and it wasn't until, like, say the year 900 to 1200 is when the ice lakes first started to melt and the Vikings were first able to travel across continents. If that was only 1,000 years ago, and I'm 25, that means times my existence by 40, and that's all that's ever existed from that time period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only 40 of my lives in a row until you get for the first time they started to farm,
That's crazy.
which
to
is
think
so
about.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't until like the 1600 that we had the Industrial Revolution
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
first time. And that's only 400 years ago. So 25 to 400 is like 20. I'm pretty sure that's 20 times.
Yeah.
It's my life 20 times. And that's all we've got to when we first started to invent coal and things like that, steam train. And
Yeah.
I'm like recording shit on cameras,
When you think
saving
about it, like
it,
that.
putting it on a USB, uploading it to a computer, and then people are watching it anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does anything make sense? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So if that's what can happen in 40 of my lives,
Then
imagine if we get wiped out and then something happens in 100,000 years from now, it'll only take 40 more of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To
It's not
to
hard
get
to,
there. Yeah.
to imagine that we're kind of like lucky, very,
Yeah.
very lucky to be, especially born in the time we're born. I think we're the most luckiest people to ever exist.
Yeah.
I really
100%.
feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do you
crazy.
believe in reincarnation?
I do believe in a form of reincarnation. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not like full. I mean, I think I existed somewhere else in another life, but I can't tell you for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of religions are like, yeah, I was a cockroach in my past life. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I've heard people
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't
get
tell you
that.
exactly, like, I
Yeah.
can't feel what I was, but I feel like I did exist before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it is talking based on feelings and
Yeah.
no evidence behind it, I have a feeling that when you die, your consciousness or your soul or whatever that is expressing yourself will go into an infinite pool of energy and consciousness, and you'll have time to reflect based on your time back on Earth. So you'll either feel because you'll be sharing a form of consciousness separated from time, you're just in this existence, that you'll feel what it felt like to have the impact on other people too. So you'll know what you did that was right and wrong and how everyone felt. So you'll either feel like you're in heaven or you'll feel like you're in hell based on how you lived your life.
Yeah.
So I do, for some reason, I don't know why, feel like you'll be able to go back and relive your life again and try and change things. And that might be why you have gut feelings or deja vu or anything like that. But you'll also be able to jump into someone else's life and experience them. And that's kind of like reincarnation, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of get a chance to live everyone. And then for some weird reason, when I meet some people, I feel like I've lived that person's life before. It's weird. Like, I really do believe, like, I just connect with people so deeply that I'm like, I've been this person. I know how he's feeling.
Like, I just feel them so deeply.
That I know what this person's feeling, you know? But then I also have a weird feeling, like, I kind of feel like what I'm going to be like in the next life. For some reason, I don't know why, it could be a previous life or a next life, but I'm so connected to an Asian lady in a farm. Like, I'm so, like, part of my soul feels like I'm this Asian lady picking rice. I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel it. I don't know what it is. It's crazy, but, like, I feel it. So I for that reason alone, I believe in reincarnation.
Yeah,
because
I get you. From a feeling,
I feel this Asian lady. You know what I mean? Like, I am her somehow.
No, I feel like that too. I couldn't tell you for sure, like, based on evidence or anything. Yeah, but so if you feel like it, you
can't have evidence. If you start to say you have evidence, then that's like you're crazy.
Exactly. Are you sure?
Yeah, I can't remember the question. Oh yeah, the biggest question for the future. Well, yeah, I feel that. Well, if I was to change it, my biggest question for the future, which I wouldn't say I want the answer to, because I don't like knowing things like that. I like figuring it out.
Yeah.
It would probably be whether or not I will meet what I would consider to be a soulmate. You know what I mean? Like, I'm optimistic about it, but it's like, I don't know if I'm my biggest enemy, whether I want it or I don't want it. You know, I'm very curious as to what life has to bring me in terms of love. Very curious.
Yeah.
Because I obviously believe in love. I've been in it a few times in my life, probably fucking as far back as I can remember. I remember loving my girlfriend in year 1. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in love since I can remember.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious whether life has someone specific in place for me to meet and just grow old with, or whether life is going to continuously send me different people for the rest of my life.
Because do you think there's one soulmate or more?
Well, I just believe, I don't know if I believe it, but I'm more towards the side of the fence that believes that you choose who you want to love.
Yeah.
Love takes commitment. Love takes effort. Love takes its whole, and it rides a wave like a frequency. You have your highs and you have your lows. Yeah. And you just commit to each other through the lows so you can get back to the highs together. Yeah. And I believe that it takes two to understand that. Yeah. I'm not sure whether I'll meet the person that we both agree to that forever, or whether I'll just continuously meet different people that will continuously change my life and give me different perspectives and get to have periods of our lives together, you know? I'm kind of happy with either.
Yeah.
I'm happy with either.
That's an interesting question, because I've always thought that maybe soulmates don't have to be like a romantic thing.
Yeah.
What if a friend is your soulmate?
Wow.
Like, it's possible, right?
Wow.
Like, because sometimes have you ever felt a connection with someone so deeply, you're not maybe it's the same sex person and you're not like into them romantically. Yeah. But then you feel like, oh my God, like I connect with this person. Yeah. On a different level.
Wow. I do feel that. Yeah. I've definitely felt that many times.
And then maybe you're right. Maybe it's multiple soulmates. Maybe it's one. Who knows? Yeah.
I feel like everyone's got their own different path, and maybe not. In some cultures, it's just the man that can have multiple wives. In some cultures, it's complete open relationships on both parties. But then you got like Adam 22. You know Adam 22? He's like a famous podcaster who started off. He's always really been a podcaster, but now he has this relationship with his wife. His wife is a porn star, and they have a daughter together. And they have a podcast where they'll film together with porn stars, and then the three of them will have a threesome. but it's always 2 girls and a guy. It's always been that way.
Always 2
It's
girls.
always Adam 22 is the man. And recently he's opened up the idea and he's like, my wife wants to do a scene with another man, so he
Yeah.
let him. And now
Okay.
there's massive backlash online. Like,
Oh.
he looks like the biggest cock. Like, he looks like a dickhead,
Yeah.
especially because this guy's like belittling him. He's like, oh, his wife never got fucking stretched out properly. I'm the man, you know? It's bad. Like, it's full, like, embarrassing
That's
for him.
controversial.
But for him, it's not really that bad because they've already got this open relationship. That's
Yeah.
the way I'm looking at it. Easy for me to judge, but I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I
get
wouldn't
you.
even want to really have the threesomes involved in a relationship because it's like, I don't want the other person to get jealous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when I'm
I
in a
get you.
relationship, it's just 2 against the world.
Yeah.
But I'm also open to the idea that people could have 3 people in a relationship. Some people could have
Yeah,
4
that's the
people in a
thing.
relationship.
That's the thing.
Imagine like if marriage wasn't just man and woman, now it's man and man or woman and woman.
Yep.
Why can't it be man, woman, woman or man, man, woman or
yeah.
3 men or 3 woman? You know, it's confusing. But just because I'm starting to understand that, I'm starting to understand maybe some people aren't meant to have one partner forever. Maybe some people are meant to have 10 in
Yeah.
different times. You know, I don't know.
You never know.
So that's my biggest question.
As life goes on.
Yeah,
you'll
that's
find
my
out.
biggest question.
Yeah.
Oh, I like.
That's cool. That's cool.
That was a good one. That was a
Yeah.
good second last one. Now it's time for the last one.
You know, one of my workmates once, she was in a relationship with a guy who lived in Sydney and also in a relationship with a girl who lived in England. And she got married to the guy in Sydney and the girl came to the wedding
No way.
and they're both like cool with it. So
That's
they don't
neat.
have like sex together.
Yeah.
They just like
See,
two
that's
things.
that's so
That's-
interesting.
yeah.
You know, like I don't get it, but I'm happy. But you do you.
Yeah, you
know
do
what I
you
mean?
exactly. I'm not gonna be like that's weird. I mean, in my
Yeah.
head, it's like I wouldn't do that, but
Yeah.
you know, like you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel ya. I hear about all these things, and it's like I don't get it, but like I'm sure that people don't get everything that I feel. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm pretty weird myself. So yeah. Well, all right.
Crazy.
Cool. I found one that I'm going to change the question to a little bit.
Okay.
The question is, what action do you, or oh, actually, it does kind of say, what action do you or will you do to best love your children? So what's, it doesn't have to be exactly answered like that. I'm going to steer the question to more to like, what do you think is a good way that you would love to raise your children? Like
Okay.
just a concept or an idea or one thing that you might be bringing to the table. One thing that, or a
Two
couple
things.
things.
There'd be two things. First of all, to be independent,
Yeah.
because I genuinely believe that even if you feel like you can rely on people, you should rely on yourself the most, because at the end of the day, you love you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you love yourself. Even if if it doesn't feel like it sometimes, you definitely love yourself and you have the best interest for yourself more than anyone else would,
Yeah.
right? That's one thing. And the second thing would be to be the best version of yourself in any way that you can. Whether that be, you know, giving it your all in something, or even just pushing people around you to be the best version of themselves. Because as they say, right, your closest circle is what you will be like, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to build good relationships and just be the best version of yourself in whatever way you can. And that's whatever you feel the best version of yourself is, not what someone else thinks.
Yeah.
Like, not even me as a parent, what I think would be the best version of yourself, just whatever you think.
Yeah.
It'll be-
Yeah.
yeah.
Independence is so important, isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people grow up, and I'll say a lot of girls grow up and they depend on, like, I can't really talk for males a lot, but a lot of girls depend on people for things. Like, you know, even the relationship, we were like, oh, can you pay for my hair and nails? Like, no, you should pay for your hair and nails yourself.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, if your man wants to treat you, fair enough. But if not,
Yeah.
just know that even if you have nothing else, you still got yourself.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever.
I've been in relationships like that before where the
Yeah.
girl definitely felt like it was the man's job to have the nails and the hair done, but it's like, you're already my girl. I
Yeah.
don't even care if you
If
have
you
your
get
hair
your
and your
hair
nails
and
done.
nails
You know what I
done,
mean?
yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So
Like, if you want to do it to feel pretty, you do it yourself, mate.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's not like someone else is telling you to do it.
Yeah.
So therefore you should do it yourself. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Nah, good answer. Independence is fucking so important.
So important.
I think when it comes to raising kids, I think I'd love to enforce friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even like if the kid doesn't want to, or if you don't want to, it's something that you have to force. I think that you have to let the kid do what they got to do.
Yeah.
As I said with that psychology story of the kid who got
Reverse
expelled,
psychology,
like if you start implementing things, the kid's gonna rebel. So I think it's important to instill friendship, and it's not just with kids. I feel like it's
between you and the kid.
Between me and the kid. You know, let them feel comfortable in telling me whatever they want to tell me, like I'm their best mate.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very fortunate that I can tell my mum whatever I want to tell my mum. I can tell my dad whatever I want to tell my dad. Yeah.
My mum's like my best friend. She knows like I've talked to her every day.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's cool. It's so lucky. It's so lucky because some people don't have that.
No.
And I've experienced meeting people that don't have that relationship with their parents, and they're very, I want to say they're very closed off. You know, they don't open up to people very easily.
Just living in themselves kind of thing. Like.
Yeah. They interpret everything to themselves. They diagnose everything themselves. They discuss things with themselves. They don't open to other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything's always a statement, not a question.
Yeah.
When you don't have someone that you can count as a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the number one thing I would do. And I did see this TikTok one time where someone told their parents said to them, if you ever need to, you can call me and tell me to pick you up or whatever it is. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I will. If you tell me no questions asked, I will not ask a single question. So if you're out, you decide to smoke for the first time, or you've
dying.
you've done something, like you may have fucking broken into someone's car or something, and now you've ran and you're hiding from the police, whatever it is, call me and I'll pick you up. Tell me no questions asked.
Because at the end of the day, you're in their corner no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they have to have that trust and faith that even if no one else is there, my parents are there for me.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'd do. I'd implement that. No questions
asked.
asked.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice. Good answer.
Good answer.
All right, I have one final question that I do ask everyone, but before I do, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this episode.
Me too.
And it's been gangster. Yeah.
It's been awesome. I had a great time.
Yeah. I'm sorry you woke me up with your body. Okay. Jesus Christ. I was like, podcast. Press play. Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
Let's work this out. What's my intro? Yeah.
Oh, no, it was good.
No, it was good. Very grateful. I'm very fortunate for it. But the final question is just in case someone hears it and they don't have the wording that might need to really instill with them, and you might have it. What's some advice that you would give someone if they were feeling depressed, mostly because they were feeling lost?
I guess one thing is you can always depend on yourself. Okay, just know that you have your back. Like, even if it feels like no one else does, because in these situations you might feel lost because you have no one, right? Just depend on yourself, and if you do need to reach out to someone, do it, because people are willing to help you. Like, people love each other and they will help you. And I guess the thing is that just even something really little that I used to do when I felt like that. So when I'd wake up in the morning, it'd be like, shit, I'd be in a shit mood and that. But in that case, you can have little wins that'll make your day better. Like, literally just making your bed, get out of bed, do something that makes you feel like you've had a little win, and that'll automatically change like your perception of the day.
Fuck, great answer. I've not heard anything to do with count on yourself. That's so important. It's so important because you are the person who decides what happens in your life. You really are. Unless you're suffering some real form of suppression, like we were discussing
in
originally.
that case, you can reach out, you know. Please do. Like, reach out to a Doxy or me. Like, we'll help you. You know what I mean?
For sure. And the making your bed thing, I'm a massive advocate of that.
Oh, yeah.
Even when I'm living away, like I'm staying in hotels or Airbnb, I'll make my bed. I make my bed before I leave on the last day. I love it.
That's a good habit.
Yeah.
It's a little win.
Didn't make it today because I was Kashish, quick. Yeah.
Sorry, you can go make it up.
I will make it before I leave though. Awesome answer. Awesome, Kashish. Thank you very, very much.
That's okay.
Been a fantastic episode.
I had a really great time.
Yeah, good. I can't wait to do it in the future. You've actually motivated a good segment that's going to be starting soon where we do mock trials.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to start in the next, I want to hope, probably 10 weeks, I think we'll be doing mock trials.
Fuck
You've
that'll
definitely
be awesome.
motivated that. So I'd love to have you on for those episodes.
Done.
Yeah,
Sounds
cool.
like a
Good
plan.
practice as well.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. All right. Beautiful. That's a wrap.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.